Hello, all guys, gals, and non binary pals. Welcome to the newest episode of the Noobs and Knockouts podcast, brought to you on YouTube, on Spotify, on Amazon Music, and Apple Podcasts. I'm Austin. I'm a knockout, watch a lot of wrestling.
I'm David. I'm a noob. Haven't watched nearly as much wrestling, and I'm dizzy. We've been spinning around so much, particularly on wheels. I don't know. If, I'll be honest, folks. I don't fully know where I am. I'm a little disoriented. I might throw up a little bit, but I'd like to think that we've landed on something nice.
Well, we've been spinning the wheels for a while,
Yeah.
but finally we are going to gather at the
Oh.
gathering.
Oh my
We're
God.
watching tonight. We are watching Starrcade '85.
The 85 of them? That's a lot. That's a lot of
Yeah,
Starcades,
all
actually.
85 Starrcades.
All 85 Starcades, a number of Starcades that definitely exist.
Yeah. So we're gonna run down our card here.
As which nobody has done on the past several weeks of WCW programming. So thank Jesus we're
Well,
here.
nobody with any sort of charisma or skill
That
for being in front of a camera. I'll tell you that.
that's that is true. Even my beloved Terry Taylor could not pull out a good delivery of the Starcade card. Or wait, no, did he do a card promo, or was that the other
No,
motherfucker then?
Denny Brown
Oh
did
yeah,
the
the
rundown.
oh yeah.
The alleged
Who?
light heavyweight champion.
So some people are saying this. I think they might be lying to me, but that is supposedly the case.
So let's get in. Let's get into it. I don't. Did they explain the two gimmick the two broadcast gimmick on this show on television? I feel
They
like I talked
explained well
about it.
they explained that they were simulcasting this on closed circuit to like local like movie theaters or whatever the fuck, or like end stations and shit. Is that what you're talking about?
No,
Oh.
I feel like the introduction. I feel like in the intro for this arc, I just said it. But this Starcade '85 is a split card between two venues that they will go back and forth on.
I don't recall this. The WrestleMania 3 angle?
WrestleMania 2 and WrestleMania
Oh.
2 came after Starcade. I'm 85. I'm sure that was coincidence.
Uh, I don't think that's the first time in this arc that like Starcade has done a thing that the Fed has also done with WrestleMania, and I and
I mean,
I made the quip that Starcade was ripping off WrestleMania, even though it came first.
probably. I don't know if we talked about it before, but there was the time where WW is the Starcade '87. Trying to think of the right dates here for WrestleMania 4. Yes, WrestleMania 4 was in '88. So Starcade '87, WWE told advertise because WWE created Survivor Series as an explicit um
Fall
competitor
Brawl.
to Starcade.
Oh, Survivor Series is the Starcade competitor.
Yes.
Damn, I'm surprised at their self restraint. I would have just assumed, if anything, they'd move Mania to coincide with Starcade.
Well, no, but they create Survivor Series, and they told pay-per-view advertisers, they told pay-per-view providers, if you carry Starcade instead of Survivor Series, you don't get to carry WrestleMania.
Wait, I
And
think I've
so
heard either this or them another instance of them doing something like this.
they did some bullshit that the Royal Rumble was created to counter program some NWA show as well. Um, That
Jesus
also
Christ.
happened. WCW also created Clash of the Champions as a free TV counter programming to WrestleMania.
Wait, but didn't wait, sorry, go back. WCW created Clash of Champions?
The Clash of the Champions, the first one took place the same night as WrestleMania 4, live for free on TBS. And the whole idea was to be a ratings grab against a really shitty WrestleMania card.
Those 30 fucking dogs. I didn't realize Clash of Champions was a WCW IP originally that
Yes.
WWE aped after it bought out the company.
Yes, it did.
Damn,
But
the OG, I think, then for doing that, like the first maybe WCW
of the
show name to
WCW
get turned.
IPs, yeah, because they didn't take Starrcade, they didn't take. Yeah, I think Clash of Clap. Well, they turned it to Night of Champions.
Oh,
I don't think WWE's ever done a
okay.
proper Clash of Champions.
Okay, then never mind. Never mind then.
But after the Starrcade Survivor Series debacle, which it works, by the way, pretty much all the pay-per-view providers that weren't deep into mid-Atlantic territory didn't carry Starrcade. They were like, okay, fine, whatever. So that Starrcade did shit buys, and then the pay-per-view providers told WWE and NWA, this can never happen again. Like we are going to carry all of your shows, and you are not allowed to schedule your shows in such a way to prevent that.
It's crazy to me they let them get away with that in the first place, though.
Well, pay-per-view, very nascent kind of business,
That's fair. It's literally one of those, we didn't have a rule for this, and now we need to.
There was no rule. It was literally this had never been done before. Yeah. No one had ever tried to fuck around like this before. There were no rules that said you couldn't. And then the pay-per-view providers were like, no. We are going to get our money on both shows. You can't do this again.
Not exactly the most altruistic, although I wouldn't be surprised if they were also worried about, I don't know, enabling monopolistic behavior. But, okay, then I guess if they made a rule, that's the time that happened. Because I feel because I have heard of that, WWE said, you can't carry this, or else we won't let you carry our shit thing. And I thought it was something else, but I guess
that was Survivor Series and Starrcade.
That's fucking psychotic. Clash of Champions is also a dirty. Anytime you're directly counter programming like that, it's always a dirty fucking move. But
yeah, but the first Clash of Champions had Sting and Ric Flair go to a 45-minute time limit draw, and WrestleMania 4 sucked. So thank you. Thank you, Jim Crockett.
We do need to account for the this is ass and also juiceless factor.
Yeah, have you considered that the first Trump Plaza WrestleMania was terrible? Have you considered that?
Have you considered, Austin, that it is in fact cringe?
Yes. Anyway, that's after all of this. This is Starrcade 85, though I'm sure WWE did the 3 locations Mania thing just to try to spite Starrcade.
Oh yeah, I think I do remember you talking about this. I think I asked if this version of the gimmick was received any better than the WrestleMania 2 version.
And I said it was better because Starrcade 85 doesn't suck.
Yeah. Again, we just keep having to cycle back to the cringe factor here. The no bitches angle, if you will.
You can get away with with a split card at 2 different venues if both cards are awesome.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. A lot can be forgiven if the match quality makes you go, ooh, shiny.
Yeah. And the on a per venue basis, both venues got more wrestling than WrestleMania 2 did, because they got each venue got half the show versus WrestleMania 2. Every venue gets only 1 hour of Mania, and then you get to sit and watch.
Is Starrcade running 3 though, or is it running more?
Starrcade 85 is running 2 venues.
No. Sorry, no, hours.
It runs I think it's like just under 3 hours.
Oh shit! Okay.
I looked this shit up.
Austin, I'm not gonna lie. I was fully expecting like a 4, maybe 5-hour card.
No, they don't. No, we haven't had the WrestleMania was the only ones doing shit like that at this point in time. It's the third. Starrcade 85 is 2 hours 53.
Damn. But hey, yeah, more wrestling per wrestling in each venue. If you need simple division. All right, fair enough.
Anyway, let's get to the card.
Yes.
So, we're just gonna so I'll just go ahead and spoil how this is gonna work. Is that in the show, every match flips back and forth between the 2 venues, which is also different than how Mania 2 did. Mania 2 did all of the matches in one venue, then they went to all the matches at the next venue, and then they went to all the matches at the third. Here, Starrcade is going to switch back and forth all night from the Greensboro Coliseum in Charlotte, North Carolina, and the Omni in Atlanta, Georgia.
That's sick as fuck, actually. I adore that.
Mm-hmm. So I'm just going to go in order as Wikipedia has it ordered by venue. So that's going to be the order I go.
Fair enough.
And listing the card off. So we first match. Speaking of sauceless, juiceless matches.
Oh dear.
The first match we have is Crusher Khrushchev versus Sam Houston for the vacant NWA Mid-Atlantic Heavyweight Championship.
Yeah. The guy that got murked by Ric Flair for daring to be associated with Dusty Rhodes.
Yeah, the match got made just because the belt's been vacant for a while. Crusher Khrushchev is hanging out, the future Repo Man. Hanging out with the Russians. And Sam Houston is just a rookie, good old boy who's mentored by Dusty and Magnum TA. So Ric Flair laid him out last week to prove a point.
Yeah, he's really looking great going into this pay-per-view.
I'm sure he'll do great. I'm sure he'll win the belt.
Yeah, absolutely.
Then we have Black Bart and Ron Bass competing in a Texas bull rope match. These guys were former friends until Black Bart turned on Ron Bass, and now they're in a death feud with each other, and it's a bull rope match, so they're going to be tied together by one long rope around. And then if Ron Bass wins, he will be granted a 5-minute Texas bull rope match immediately afterward with J.J. Dillon.
That's the thing. I was about to ask you if it was going to be immediately after, if it was going to be on like the next.
WCW. No, this is a I win and I immediately get the match with J.J. Dillon.
I wonder what the outcome of this match will be. It's a mystery.
Who knows? Then we get Terry Taylor defending his NWA National Heavyweight Championship against the real Nature Boy, Buddy Landel.
Absolutely. Not that filthy Nature Boy, Ric Flair, but the true Nature Boy.
Yes. Now, I did have to come to terms with the fact that Buddy Landel kayfabe racist last week in his match with Manny Fernandez.
But we don't have any solid proof of IRL racist, as far as I know.
And here's the thing, David. This is a lot like I'm in the middle of playing Mass Effect again, and in the first game you have to choose between saving one of the 2 human squad mates you have. The other dies. The one you don't save dies. And the it's Ashley and Caden, and a big reason that a lot of people don't save Ashley is that due to her character background, she's kind of xenophobic. She does get better if she doesn't die. But that is her big knock against her. Is the reason people let Ashley die is because she's racist. But here's the thing, David, is that Caden commits a much bigger sin than being a racist. He's boring. And that is much like this match here, where Buddy Landell may be a racist, but in my mind, Terry Taylor is committing the much bigger sin of being fucking boring. And I'm cheering for Buddy Landell.
Hope. He schmooved so good in that ring. You're going to watch this match and you're going to be sad you ever doubted the goat, the rooster, the cock, if you will, Terry Taylor. I cannot wait for you to eat all of the crow or the rooster or, well, at the end of this match. Thank you.
There will be no amount of cock that I will be eating after this match. I tell you what.
I appreciate the ability to rope this into a fucking Mass Effect reference, but no.
I just thought of it right now of like, wait, Buddy Landell is racist. I think Terry Taylor's boring. This is literally the Mass Effect issue.
God, so what I'm hearing is that one of them will die at the end of this match.
Yes, and hopefully it's Terry Taylor. No! That is the key.
No, I can't choose. This is why I can't play games like Mass Effect. I can't choose. They're both my precious babies. Okay. Sure. All right. Austin's hate boner for Terry Taylor aside. Let's fucking go.
Yeah, all right. Then next match, we get Tully Blanchard defending the United States Heavyweight Championship in an I Quit steel cage match against Magnum TA. And this one's been weird for me because I did pick this arc because this is one of Magnum TA's bigger moments of triumph in his career. Well, I just watched the Dark Side of the Ring episode about him, and I was like, I'm really inspired for us to do an arc highlighting Magnum TA. And yet,
absolutely, Magnum
TA has arguably been on the wrong side of history the entire story. As what happened is that Tully and Magnum had a match that went like 50 minutes, and then they both passed out. And so it ended in a draw. Now, Tully, kind of rightfully, is like, well, that settles that. You didn't beat me. I don't have to beat you. We're done. I'm moving on. And then Magnum is like, no, I clearly can beat you, evidenced by the fact that we tied last time. I demand a rematch. And Tully's like, nope, no way. So Magnum appeals to the NWA president. I don't care about his name, to look it back up.
Oh, yeah. What's his nuts?
What's his nuts says the rules of this match are just so liberal and dangerous that I just can't approve it. And Magnum TA says, okay, I will appeal to a higher authority, Jim Crockett. And Jim Crockett is like, you know what? I like that idea. I will approve the stipulation.
It is true just how absolutely fucking unnecessary this whole thing was. Tully Blanchard was unfortunately correct, and Magnum has been kind of annoying about it, and it really, like, we don't talk enough about the trope in wrestling of how if a babyface wins like a giant feud, like that's it, that's the end of it. But if the babyface loses the giant feud, they keep getting to be absolute fucking little stink babies about it until they win.
Yeah, like it's because it follows in that like traditional storytelling narrative of like the good guy winning in the end.
Mm-hmm.
But like unless the heel cheats to win, which is not always the case like here, then
Like
it's
here,
like
no.
the baby face is just being an annoying piss baby until they get the win.
Oh, now we can afford to do every possible fucking rematch under the goddamn sun.
This isn't quite noted babyface behavior because he did technically appeal to the proper authorities about this,
He
about getting
did.
that rematch.
He
But
did. And
I think we're violating the spirit of the rule of babyface behavior in how this
yeah.
all went down.
Except this
And then,
is the rule for babyface behavior.
as we say, if they're a babyface, they just let you do it.
Yeah, they have their own version of the "Did you consider it's cringe" rule. I will say something I do appreciate now about this Magnum TA arc is the with the advent of heel Hangman happening to coincide with this on AEW. Holy fucking shit! Does current Hangman feel like Magnum TA 2.0? Holy fucking
Yeah,
fuck! Like
I think he's taken a lot of cues from Magnum, I think.
which, to be fair, he was mentored by Jimmy Valiant, so he does run in those circles, I imagine.
Yeah.
So
Also,
that
Magnum
that is
TA forcibly kissed Baby Doll. That
yeah,
happened
well, yeah, that was the other
once.
thing I was about
That
to
was
say.
weird.
Is we do cross into noted baby face behavior with the sexual assault of Tully Blanchard's
Manager.
valet. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
So
there is that. The match will bang, folks. Don't get us wrong. But
yeah.
this is and also like it's been like this is definitely like the B or even C story going on here. Like this is far from the main thrust. So coming in this being the thing that Austin built this arc around. But then also we have Ric Flair and Dusty Rhodes culminating
Yeah,
in
hate
the
that
hard
for you.
times
Hate that
promo.
for you, Magnum.
Yeah. Like this is one of the biggest moments of your career, but also hard times. Get fucked,
Yeah,
nerd.
Dusty is on fire right now, I'm
Yeah.
afraid. It was either
But
this or
yeah.
try to construct the Magnum TA Ivan Koloff best of 7. That is the other that's another huge career feud and highlight for Magnum TA before his motorcycle accident that pretty much ended his career.
No. Let me be clear. I am not complaining because getting what will almost certainly be like one of the greatest matches I've ever watched in Magnum TA versus Tully, coinciding with the Ric Flair Dusty Rhodes feud is fucking incredible, and I have nothing to complain about there. The only thing I have to complain about in this arc is how goddamn repetitive everything got after like 2 episodes. Ah,
Yeah. Oof. Then the main event at the Greensboro Coliseum. Ivan Koloff and Nikita Koloff defending their NWA Tag Team Championships in a steel cage against the Rock and Roll Express.
this will also bang. This will
Yeah,
also
I mean, the
bang really
feud is
hard.
just straight up America. Fuck yeah.
Fuck yeah.
That's all it is.
Versus versus the Dirty Rooskies.
Yeah, but it will be a really good match though.
I have no doubt. I am thrilled beyond belief.
Then we head over to the Omnis card with the first with Abdullah the Butcher versus Manny Fernandez in a Mexican death match for Manny Fernandez's sombrero, I believe. I believe
Yes.
that was put on the line.
Yes.
I have no idea what's going to happen. I expect it will be a bloody mess because it's a death match with Abdullah the Butcher. But we will see what happens. They just kind of threw
Yeah.
this one out there, and it was like, wait, what?
Yeah. This is the most like fucked fuckers match on this card simply because it is like it's a randomizer match. They rolled the fucking dice and came out with both the matchup and the fucking stipulation. But
Absolutely.
also, I feel like this match is also going to bang. We're going to get banger after banger on this one, folks. I really need to emphasize that as goddamn annoying as it was that these wheels just kept fucking spinning week after week, the sheer level of cock teasing did build up quite well. The anticipation to see any of these motherfuckers wrestle actually substantial matches.
Yeah. Then we're going to get the Barbarian and superstar Billy Graham first in an arm wrestling match
Oh
because
my
there was a
Jesus, I
thing.
forgot about that.
So Billy Graham was going to have this arm wrestling match with the Barbarian. And then, okay, so they're doing an arm wrestling match, then a wrestling match. They were going to do this earlier, but then the Barbarian weaseled out of the arm wrestling match, and then they weaseled a gimmick where he says he just happens to have an injury on his right arm now, so he's got to wear a cast, and he's going to have to, do the arm wrestling match with his left hand.
Yes.
But big stakes on this one, as if superstar Billy wins, he wins $5,000 of Paul Jones' money, of the Barbarian's manager's money. So I don't know what the Barbarian wins. Does he get a bonus from Paul Jones? Probably not.
I
To
I
be
highly
honest.
doubt that. This is a one way. He didn't think to pull the Hulk Hogan move of also putting out his own bounty on himself.
Gotta up Billy Graham smarter than Hulk Hogan to not up his own bounty.
Yeah, true. Well, here's the fucking thing though. Like, I will say something that I kind of like thought about between last episode and this, because you talked about the Barbarian, like broke his arm or something and needs to supposedly broke his arm. We didn't get hours upon hours of doctor documentaries to tell us all the gruesome details, so we can't confirm. But so he's forcing Billy Graham to wrestle with his left hand. And last time I took that to be like, oh, the cast is like a blunt weapon. But the more I thought about it, and the more you're like, because you said no, the point is that it puts Billy Graham at a disadvantage to wrestle with his left. They just casually threw out there the lore that the Barbarian is ambidextrous, which, damn,
Yeah.
did not expect such a skill from a boy named the Barbarian.
Hey,
Truly,
hidden talents and all that.
truly, yeah, absolutely. This is like fun. You know what? You bring one of your special interests into this, I'm gonna bring one of mine. This is like on the Muppet Show, where like whenever they bring on a special guest, they'd be like, "Do you have any hidden talents that you want to share with us?" That's how you get opera singer Beverly Sills tap dancing. That's how you get Rudolph Nureyev, the ballet dancer, singing. A lot of flip flops going on here, but here they're like. He's like, I just really want to get over the fact that I'm fucking ambidextrous. I just think it'd be neat. And they said, you know what, Barbarian, Godspeed.
Cool.
And I think that's delightful, wholesome content.
Yeah. So Billy and Barbarian will have the arm wrestling match to determine if Superstar gets Paul Jones' money, and then they will have a match.
Just also a match.
Yeah. Feels like the real stakes of the situation are in the arm wrestling match.
Yeah, I
for
was gonna say
$10,000, but okay.
I feel like they could have stacked the deck like Superstar has to win both to get the 5K, but no, the match is just a bonus, I guess.
Yeah, the match is for nothing in particular. It's just the thing after the arm wrestling match.
Yeah. We're really blowing our load early here on the fucking arm wrestling match.
Yeah. Then the next match at the Omni will be the Andersons defending the NWA National Tag Team Championships against Wahoo McDaniel and Billy Jack Haynes.
Oh yeah, I forgot they're doing that shit. But yeah, Minnesota Wrestling Crew is here,
baby. It's been a lot of like, it's been built through being a minor subplot in the larger Rhodes versus Horseman stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Billy Jack Haynes is new to the NWA, and he's locking in his unbeatable full Nelson or whatever, and he's bringing his tag team partner from Florida, Wahoo McDaniel. I'm
Yes.
pretty sure is he not like one of the only actual Native Americans doing a Native American
Wahoo
gimmick in
McDaniels,
wrestling?
as far as I know, is an actual Native American tribal
Yes, he
chief.
is. He is part of the Choctaw Chickasaw tribe. He's legit.
That was the crazy thing, because this was the thing I had to eat crow on earlier in this arc, because when I hear the name fucking Wahoo McDaniels, and I'm like, what fucking southern hick decided that this was a legit enough sounding Native American name? I guess I'm the asshole, because this is in fact a legit enough sounding Native American name.
He got the name Wahoo from his dad, because his dad was known as Big Wahoo. So actually, you're the dick.
I am. I'm sorry, Chief Wahoo. My tribe salute.
Hey, speaking of wrestling chiefs, unlike Chief Jay Strongbow, who was an Italian, who was just playing the gimmick.
The Italians, famous for their ethnic versatility in pro wrestling.
Hey, he's brown enough. He's Italian.
Vaguely tan. That's tremendous. Please roll the dice to see which ethnicity we stick you as.
Yeah.
Hey, at least he didn't roll Middle Eastern. Poor Muhammad Hassan.
So the Andersons, they've been tied up in Dusty and Magnum stuff to help their bros, as well as Arn stealing Dusty Rhodes' television championship, declaring that should make him the television champion, and the NWA saying, no, we're going to strip Dusty of the belt because he couldn't defend it because he was injured, and then we're going to have a tournament about it. You don't just get the belt.
And then and Arn Anderson, holding his stolen belt, said, wait, really?
Why not?
Why? Huh? Eh? Nani?
Yeah. Then we will have the Atlanta street fight. It's the Midnight Express versus Jimmy Valiant and Miss Atlanta Lively.
Let's fucking go!
Jimmy Valiant was saved from an attack by Jim Cornette's Midnight Express by Ronnie Garvin in drag, though they don't acknowledge that it's Ronnie Garvin, who is Miss Atlanta Lively. And Jimmy Valiant went, "Auga! Auga!" about Miss Atlanta Lively. And his current girlfriend, Big Mama, is also cool with it. I guess that's what it's like being street people.
Yeah, the yet another problem that could be solved with polyamory, and it was.
So Jim Cornette's been wanting revenge on this, and they're going to have a street fight about it. There have been some threats to strip people naked in this street fight. We will see where that goes.
Wait, that has the potential of actually going somewhere? I just thought that was
Probably
Jim Cornette talking out his ass.
I mean, Cornette said it, and Jimmy Valiant said it, so it's like I guess it's a possibility on the board.
Damn,
probably
was
not
expecting
but I mean,
Starrcade 85 to include hanging dong.
I mean, probably not, but it's, I guess, something we have to consider.
But
and I have
been fun.
And I have been giving props to the NWA for not explicitly making this weird anti-drag, anti-trans as a joke.
Homophobia. That's the thing. Like, I'm racking my brain why they're playing this so straight. And my two answers are, like, one, it's just something that, like, they thought was funny to just stick Ronnie Garvin in a dress for some reason.
I mean, to be fair, looking it up, that's kind of seems like how Ronnie Garvin's attitude was about it. Is he thought it was funny as a gimmick, and they're like, all right. But
like,
like
fair
they
enough.
no they at no point have they implied that like Miss Atlanta Lively is a man or is Ronnie
No.
Garvin specifically. The closest has been Jim Cornette calling her ugly, but within the
Yeah.
context of other stuff he said, it doesn't like he's implying that he's been claiming that Miss Atlanta Lively is a weird stalker of Jimmy Valiant's because Jimmy Valiant owes her child support. And he has inferred about how ugly of a baby that Miss Atlanta Lively and Jimmy Valiant must have. You know, saying
Correct.
things that like don't make any sense if we would believe that Jim Cornette thinks or knows that this is a man in a dress.
Yeah,
So I can only
absolutely.
assume that in the kayfabe, Miss Atlanta Lively is a cis woman. That's it. You
Yeah.
don't have any
But
other.
that's
There's
the
just
thing
nothing
too.
else
Like
to it.
Cornette's threat of like stripping people naked isn't for transvestigation reasons. It's
It's
just
all humiliation.
it's all for humiliation. Yeah, it's his humiliation kink. But like the that's the crazy fucking thing is like this is played dead straight. And the only other thing I can think of is like someone had an idea for this angle and they're like, we can't do this with a real woman because oh
Right. That
no,
would,
the poor delicate women, we can't do
we
intergender
can't do
wrestling.
intergender wrestling. We can't do
Let's throw
that.
Ronnie Garvin in there. I'd like to believe it's a combination of the two. Like it was born out of like the desire to tell the story, and also they just kind of got a kick out of it, but it's adorable. And the surprising, uh, uh, no pun intended, straightness of this angle has
Yeah.
kind of made it one of the big highlights of this arc for me. Like I'm so fucking hyped for this match. It's gonna be I know it's gonna be goofy, but in like a fun way and not a way that's gonna be insulting and annoying. And I'm excited, legitimately. Let's
Yeah.
go.
And then our main event, of course, for the
Of course.
NWA Heavyweight Championship. Ric Flair versus Dusty Rhodes. We have been here on the road of perhaps the most famous part of the Ric Flair Dusty Rhodes forever feud, where Dusty's ankle was shattered in an attack by the Horseman. He's out on injury, despite the Horseman's claims that he will never, ever come back. Dusty Rhodes does come back, and he cuts the goddamn promo of his life, Hard Times.
Of any lives, really. Like it's just the promo.
Yeah. And it's all come down to this. It's Ric Flair versus Dusty Rhodes, the rich boy versus the man of the people, the working class.
Yes. Oh my god. Like I am so fucking thrilled to be watching this match. This is mind-boggling. Like this whole card is going to be insane, but like man, I can't wait to see any of this. I just get the feeling this is going to be just incredible. I'm sorry, I can't say anything clever. I'm just consumed with hype right now that we're watching this. This is the cool shit about doing this fucking podcast. This is the thing. I made jokes about this back last Halloween when we did Ray versus Eddie, but like I have to intentionally keep myself so much in the dark about some of the biggest,
Mm-hmm.
craziest things in the history of wrestling because I know they're going to pop up on the pod and I know that I don't want to spoil them for myself because I know how rewarding it'll be to get to follow that through an arc. And like this is one of those prime examples. Like man, we've endured so much shit, so many awful arcs. The end of the end
We
of
ended
fucking
Blair
Claire
Lynch
Lynch
last time.
last time was as annoying as it was an utter goddamn nothing burger. But this it's times like these where it's all worth it. I'm sure I will regret saying that in just a couple episodes, but I right now, the hype. We're doing this. I can't like holy shit.
Yeah. So if you want to watch along with us, you can do so at Peacock TV NBC Universal streaming service where WWE has all their back catalog these days, including every single Starrcade. And so, when we come back, we will be talking about Starrcade 85, The Gathering.
I can't wait.
And we are back. We have finished Starrcade 85, The Gathering.
I gathered in front of my TV with myself. That's close enough, I guess.
Yeah. It's funny they call it The Gathering, but they're in two different places. Is it not The Gatherings?
You know, that's true. They're like less gathered than they usually would be. And yet here they are calling it. They just really couldn't come up with a name for this one, could they? David Crockett threw out the first thing that he could think of, and everyone's like, "Yep, sounds good to us, boss. Yeehaw, yeehaw."
Sounds good, boss. What's the money situation right now? And Jim Crockett said, "Don't ask. Don't worry about it."
Ha 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 ha! I'll get you later. Legendary words from many promoters. You know, it's a proud tradition. Speaking of things that maybe didn't get the most amount of effort put into them, our Starrcade 85 opening graphic is the update graphic they've been using.
It's the fucking update graphic, but they put a box in front of the word so you couldn't read update.
Except they didn't make it big enough that you couldn't see the animation of the word update flying in PowerPoint style. So I was like, guys, you couldn't afford just making a slightly different graphic? Really? You couldn't freeze frame on the update graphics so you have the word blocked out the whole time? You didn't have to make it this obviously reused, is what I'm saying here. Again, what's the money situation? We ask the carny.
Don't ask me about that. We gotta we're gonna beat the WWF. Shut up. Don't ask me.
Every penny saved is a penny used, I don't know, to get Ric Flair another bedazzling on his robe.
Yeah. So we open the show. We get Tony Schiavone and Bob Caudle on commentary tonight. They're in Atlanta.
Johnny Weaver in a second, but yes, they are.
Well, but they're the announcers. They do the.
Oh, they do the play-by-play. That's
true. The whole show, yeah.
That's true. That's actually true.
Even though they are in the Omni, they kind of just open. Then we cut to Johnny Weaver, the backstage interviewer who was in Greensboro.
Yes, I have to say, when we first got Tony Schiavone and Bob Caudle, Robbie was in his room. He walked out of his room and he goes, "Tony Schiavone?" And I'm like, yeah, no, that's like he was like an early WCW guy. You know, we're in the 80s. We got baby Tony here. And this man, my roommate, who watches AEW every week with me, goes, "I thought he was like 30, 40 at most."
No, Tony has been working in wrestling for 40 years.
Yeah, well, so he is 40 at most in one respect in wrestling years, I suppose. It's funny too because this came after a week on Dynamite where I was kind of looking at Tony. I'm like, man, Tony's age is kind of showing this week. Like the beard has the patches of gray and like his neck looked a little scraggly, and I'm like, damn, Tony is an older guy. And Robbie's like, yeah, I thought he was like 30. But
what?
Bruh. What? No. So anyway.
I don't have anything interesting to say about what they say in the intro, except can you tell that Johnny Weaver is an ex-wrestler?
Holy blading scars, Batman!
The blading scars are like a jump scare at you. Holy shit!
Holy fuck, brother! Not only a former wrestler, but apparently the like OG deathmatch wrestler by the look of those scars. That man, Abdullah the Butcher wishes he had those kind of blading scars. Okay, in his old age, Johnny Weaver's he certainly wove those scars onto his forehead. But yes, they're throwing it over to check the pitch in Greensboro. That really I had to rewind a few times. I swear to God, it sounded like they said the check the bitch in Greensboro, which that's not very nice to say about Johnny Weaver, but okay.
Yeah. So
the other interesting thing I got from this angle is like we do get, speaking from earlier, we get a little bits of production wonk here tonight from the fact that they're broadcasting from two different places, and there's this part
Johnny
where,
Weaver
like,
doesn't know where to look.
he doesn't know where to look, and also it just cuts to him while Bob Caudle and Tony Schiavone are talking, and he's just awkwardly standing there with his eyes darting back and forth. I'm like, oh, they must have cut to him too early before he was supposed to start speaking again. And then they don't even throw it back to him. They cut to Tom Miller in the Greensboro ring. So they just cut the fuck back to poor Johnny Weaver standing there.
I feel like, relatively speaking, they did a decent job at this, like, going back and forth thing, especially once we get into the matches.
They really did. And the fact that Schiavone and Caudle's commentary is as seamlessly integrated into the Greensboro matches as it is deeply impressive.
Mm-hmm. But the early parts of this, oh boy.
They're working out the kinks in real time, and Johnny Weaver just kind of lowers his mic. He's like, oh, okay, I guess I'm not talking no more. But yes.
We cut to the ring for the standing of the playing of our national anthem, and I thought,
American Dream.
God damn it! Okay. Oh no, my thought was wrestling has more than one royal family.
Oh, well, not yet. No, we gotta get Daddy's theme in first. Cody doesn't even exist yet. Actually, no, wait, he probably exists in 1985.
I'm not looking at it. I'm gonna look it up.
I'm not looking it up either. Either way, we're staying within the Rhodes family close enough.
Cody Rhodes was born June 1985, so Cody is 6 months old at this point. 5 months old.
Oh, okay. Well, in that case, wrestling has more than one royal family.
No, they play the Star Spangled Banner.
Bro,
I really thought, okay, and the thing is, I'm always one of those guys who complains about vamping in the Star Spangled Banner, mostly because it usually sucks. You know, the Star Spangled Banner has the notes. It was written to go a certain way, and everybody, especially when they hit, they hit the ending, they start vamping. Like, dude, shut the fuck up. Sing it how it's supposed to sound. You're not adding anything. But I thought, there's no one singing it. They're just playing a track for people to stand and salute or whatever. So, like, great. This is going to be straightforward. And then they play through the bit, and then they re-loop the track at the chorus.
Austin, I had multiple notes on the fucking national anthem. What is happening? Some grandma is there just vibing, trying to sing along to the anthem, to whatever fucking guy next to her, maybe her son or her grandson or something, is like pointing like, look, we're on TV. She's like, I'm just trying to sing over here.
We're on the video board.
Yeah, and then what the best part is, after that, the next shot is just some dude staring dead ahead, dead still, his face cast in shadows. Take notes, last guy around. Although I will say, the kid next to him is sitting down. I'm so tired of the woke mob making a mockery of our flag. And that kid's name, Colin Kaepernick. I say as the child was fully white. But also, like, we got a back shot of the crowd, and people were starting to, like, turn around and look behind them. And I thought, like, there was, I don't know, some indoor pyro going off overhead or something. No, they're just also, like, turning around and noticing that they're on TV. Who gives a fuck about America when you're on candid camera, baby?
Yeah. So,
oh my god, yeah, and the fake out was reprising the ending. You know what that meant. Everyone, you know, everyone was awkwardly re-raising their hands to their hearts and standing back up. Bet you anything that everyone started.
We're not done. All right.
And then the flag goes dark while they're still playing the anthem. Okay, sure. Again,
It would have been
production one.
like it would have been very funny if the WWE Network dubbed in America the Beautiful.
That would have been great. All I'm saying is, I guess even the lighting guys didn't know they were gonna vamp that goddamn music. Oops.
Yeah, so we get the first match of the show in Greensboro. It goes Greensboro Omni. It is Crusher Khrushchev and Sam Houston for the NWA Mid-Atlantic Championship. First thing of note, the referee is in bright yellow.
Bro, okay. I need to take a second to highlight that the fashion choices at Starrcade 85 are off the charts.
I don't think that referee needs any more highlighter.
Bro,
I think
no. Well, I really need to highlight what the rest got going on here. Bright yellow, long sleeve, long pants jumpsuit, and the pants part have fucking bell bottoms at the bottom. Okay, my man came to serve all of the referee cunt, and it's not just him. Okay, we're gonna get more as the show goes on, but off the bat, we get in the front row, we got women in full-ass ball gowns to attend Starrcade 85, okay? We ain't fucking around.
It's like they're going to the fucking Kentucky Derby.
Bro, I know. Where are their hats? Where are your Starrcade hats that you have to wear? I thought my friend group was going to be stylish. We're all rolling up to All Out next weekend. Well, next weekend when we're recording this in rompers. Okay, I thought we were going to be stylish in the coordinated rompers. Nah. These ladies are on a whole other level. I gotta step up my fucking game. Okay, and there will be more fashion notes as the show goes on, okay? Everyone came here to make a statement. The red carpet is rolled out, except this time the carpet is red with bladed blood. Whoops. Anyway.
Yeah, so we have the match. Both men are already in the ring. They're super inconsistent tonight on who gets entrances and who doesn't.
Yeah, that's a good point. It did because the next match I kind of did a double take. I was like, wait a minute, this feels different.
Yeah, so this match is I would consider the most nothing of all the matches on the show. Which
it's alright. It's not bad.
It's not terrible, but I'm also whatever to a lot of it. It's very Khrushchev is big and strong, but Sam Houston is small and quick, and trying to use that quickness.
Are David and Goliath, and I've talked a lot about the crowds in this arc and about how I guess how much easier it was to impress a wrestling crowd 40 years ago. But man, on a show with no jobber squashes and all hard hitters in the matches, these crowds are having heart attacks, okay, for over the tiniest things.
They popped for Sam Houston, and I was like, okay, that's how the crowd is gonna be.
Yeah. Houston rolls out of the way of a diving attack from Crusher Khrushchev. The roof blows the fuck off the building. Okay. Now I will say, I will have more to say about this as the show goes on, but one of the most fascinating things about watching older wrestling is seeing how different work looked back then. And there were a lot of things, even in the matches that I wasn't as into, which I did overall enjoy all of these matches, which is a rare thing to say on this podcast, and I'm enjoying it while I can.
I mean, I'm sure we'll say more at the end, but I do think Starrcade 85 was a pretty good show.
Yeah, but even Sam Houston, who were kind of this little fucking twink is just kind of here. This was cool. He jumps onto Crusher and does a Rana or head scissors down into a submission move, which I don't know if I've ever seen anyone do that before. Now, I'm sure it has happened plenty of other times, but I've never seen that. A high flyer move like a head scissors into a submission. You don't see twinks like Sam Houston do submissions anyway. So like that was actually really cool. And then Sam kind of uses that to roll into working the arm, and Crusher, which again we'll talk about this later, Crusher lets out a na 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 in a voice that decidedly does not sound like an intimidating hardened champion of USSR sports. Again, we'll get to it.
Look, I know he's the third tier guy in the Russians, but come on.
Well, I thought he was supposed to be like the breakout singles star.
No, that's Nikita Koloff.
That's Nikita Koloff.
Is the third guy.
Oh no! Oh no! Okay, well that's my mistake then. And he is third guying it up. We get the bear hug, Crusher Khrushchev, more like Hugger Khrushchev. Am I right?
Yeah. Hey, so the big finish is Sam hits his running bulldog. He goes for the cover.
What is a twink like this doing a fucking running bulldog? 80s wrestling is a different time.
So he goes for the pin. Khrushchev gets his leg on the ropes, but Sam Houston, because he's a rookie, he's a newbie, he's green. He does, because he's a moron, does not know that he lost, does not know that this happened. So he is celebrating like he's already won. And he turns around and gets hit with the clothesline, the sickle, by Crusher Khrushchev, and in a moment that is not remarked upon by anybody at all, to the point where it feels like an accident. I have read reviews about this show. I watched the show, and they didn't talk about it. The reviews I read don't talk about this. I feel like it was an accident that this happened, but
it had
so Crusher pins Sam Houston, and gets pinned for the loss. Sam Houston gets his leg on the rope. The ref misses it because the ref is out of position to see it. He is facing away from the ropes, which is bad form for that exact reason.
Yeah.
And nobody is like, oh shit, Sam Houston kind of got screwed on that one.
And then Crusher just kind of pushes Sam's foot off of the rope.
Yeah, no one talks about Crusher Khrushchev, talks about that Sam Houston got his leg on the rope.
Yeah, but also, like, is that legal for your opponent to push your foot up? Okay, so
you can't do that.
Either it's kayfabe and the ref didn't see it, but again, the fact that nobody comments on it makes me think that maybe Sam wasn't supposed to do that. Sam Houston
just fucked it up.
And Crusher's like, no. Crusher's
no,
like,
that ain't the spot, brother. No. Get it back.
Nah.
Yeah, so Crusher Khrushchev wins the what one is this again? The Mid-Atlantic title.
Oh yeah, that one. The junior heavyweight.
The one that got vacated because the last champion quit the NWA over money. So he just got stripped to the title.
Unfortunate. Oh yeah, it was a vacant, and yeah, so Crusher Khrushchev has filled the vacancy. Woo!
All right, then we cut over to the Omni. Very funny though is that they throw up the match card graphics for the next match before they complete the transition from one ring to the next.
Yes.
This is the funniest shot of the whole night, where we throw up the graphic for the next match and you can still see Sam Houston kneeling in the ring, upset that he lost.
See, that I actually didn't notice that. I actually caught a few different ones later. There are a couple others that I thought were the funniest of the night, and we'll get there when we get there. But yeah they weren't great about their timing on putting up these graphics.
I will say otherwise though. I really like the way they transition between the matches. It does feel pretty seamless, and I feel like it's not immediately obvious. Like if we didn't already know you could have convinced. The NWA could have done this show in a way to convince you this all happened in one building.
They really could have.
I think they overall did a good job making it feel cohesive in a way that WrestleMania 2 does not do. As someone who's
I haven't watched 2, so I couldn't tell you. But at least for this, this actually felt really good. I was a fan of it.
WrestleMania 2's big problem is that the production quality is really bad because Vince is on commentary at one of the shows. So other people have to run production for 2/3 of the show. And I think NWA made a smart choice in having Cottle and Schiavone do commentary the whole night.
Correct.
Because WWE does not do that at WrestleMania 2, and it causes their entire commentary team to be spread thin across multiple shows, to the point they got to bring in celebrity guest commentators just to fill the spots.
Yep.
They don't have. Let me see if I can find the whole broadcasting crew to kind of emphasize this. Is that the New York hour is commentated by Vince McMahon and actress Susan St. James. The Chicago hour is commentary with Gorilla Monsoon, Mean Gene Okerlund, and Kathy Lee Crosby. And the Los Angeles hour is commentary by Jesse Ventura, Lord Alfred Hayes, and Elvira, Mistress of the Dark.
Oh yeah. Isn't she said to be actually kind of fun on that commentary though?
I think she's of the 3 guest commentators I just said, I think she's the best because I think she's best, This is just like being a host of B movies when you think about it. Wrestling is all B movies.
Correct.
Quality content. But she's used to playing up personas and, being a presenter. And I think it works well for her relative to like two actresses.
Yeah, she is kind of all the personas to get, like, you got to get the weirdos, man. Like, I don't know what to tell you. Like,
but as just noticed, again, they split up all of their regular commentary teams, so none of them are that good. And I think it.
Yeah, no, but here we have Schiavone and Cottle the whole way, and it's cohesive too. Like, they know what they've been talking about all night, so it's not like we're not risking, like, I don't know, overlap or missing things that other commentaries have talked. Whatever. But yeah, so good call on the WC Dubs part.
Yeah, I think it helps that Starrcade is a better show in ring than WrestleMania 2. But I also think Starrcade 85 made a lot of production choices that were better than what WWE did in WrestleMania 2 to make this double show idea work better.
But yeah, I would agree with that. The work is strong, which helps, and technically they actually worked really well with the logistics. The hiccups that we're going to be talking about here. This is just being nitpicky assholes.
Yeah, I think it's pretty solid overall. First match of the Omni, though. Let's get to it. It's Manny Fernandez, the Raging Bull, putting his sombrero on the line in a Mexican death match against the Butcher.
I wonder what 1985 people would call a match for the sickos like this, because they definitely did
a sickos match.
This was the sickos match, not only in that, like, death match, and it's Abdullah the Butcher and Manny Fernandez, who seems like just kind of a crazy, like, one of those guys you unleash in the mid card and just goes crazy. But, like, the fact that it's over a fucking sombrero is just the perfect level of goofy.
And we talked a lot about that, like, the term death match has a lot of rule sets throughout history. Like, I know what a death match rule is, but, like, not everybody does a death match. Death match rules in what they call a death match, So we were wondering what the actual rules of this match were going to be. Well, it was like great start because they're like, the match will not be stopped for injury or blood, no disqualifications. Anything goes, great. And then the announcer says that the winner of the match will climb the pole to acquire the sombrero. Motherfucker, it's a pole match.
They bamboozled us, Austin, into watching a fucking pole match.
And I'm going to be honest, this might be the best pole match I've ever watched.
That's actually true. That is actually very true. That is so extremely very true. I am mostly just relieved that I didn't miss uh um that I didn't miss you saying in the front half this was a pole match because I kind of went like wait what did Austin say this, did I fucking zonk out? No,
I know
they
you did
jump
not.
scared all
They
of
just
us with
didn't
this.
say it.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I've talked before. We had a match earlier in this arc with Abdullah, and I was like, "This isn't a real Abdullah match. You know, it's not bloody enough. We need to watch a real Abdullah match." Oh hell yeah! This is a real Abdullah match. Base goated Abdullah the Butcher in that he is put in a match where the rules are I'm allowed to stab people, and he immediately, no hesitation, no build up. He's just like, "Fuck it, okay." And he immediately pulls out a stake or something in his he keeps multiple blunt weaponry in his tights that he pulled out to stab Manny Fernandez with to start the match.
That's the crazy thing about this too. All of this is legal, and yet Abdullah stashes them in his trunks as if like they're still his dirty little secret. And like, man, you just get off on this shit, don't you? This is like a sex thing for you, isn't it? And well, all I have to say to that is based.
We're lucky he didn't actually break out the fork. That was what I was waiting for. He does not have the fork in this one.
You know, he's a butcher. Having an instrument of food makes perfect sense. Do not know why that was not there. That is a good point. One thing I do want to point out from before this match started, real quick, is we're gonna talk a few times. I think about as the network or other WWE streaming is wont to do, the ADR ass elevator music that 99% of the people on this show come out to. We'll get there, but
I was a big fan of the people that they just had come out to the Starrcade theme.
Wait, was that? How many? What?
Some of that
happened.
Some of those, like Abdullah came out to the Starrcade theme.
I did not notice that.
Like it's the same music. It's like the exact same music they do during the fucking update segments.
Oh my god, I didn't even notice that. WWE. Anyway, I will say the ADR ass music for Manny Fernandez is like kind of tranquilo, like it's chill vibes music, and I kind of like that for like a deathmatch guy.
I did actually find this out is that on this, the reason his music is ADR is he comes out to Beat It by Michael Jackson on this show.
He what?
They're giving Manny Fernandez the Michael Jackson pop.
Damn. Well, because I was wondering, like, is this music like indicative of what his real music was? Like,
well, I'm gonna say
calm
no.
Vibes. Well, I wonder if like it's closer for like normal TV, but like
maybe there's only one wrestler who I knew immediately whose music what their real music is, and we'll get to that.
Yeah,
I can immediately identify from the fake music what the real music is here.
But yeah, so Manny Fernandez comes out to not Michael Jackson, but it was chill vibes, and I kind of like that juxtaposition going into a death match. Anyway, but yes.
Also, I did also notice Abdullah the Butcher gets his turban snatched.
He does?
Or somebody tries to grab at his turban when he comes out.
What the hell? That's crazy.
Look, I know these are wrestling fans are nuts, and there's a lot of wrestling fans that like to be like, look at, especially in this era of time, like to be like, look at these big dumb fake wrestlers. I could take them. There's a lot. There's a that was a thing that happened all the time.
Also, that having with a little bit of Southern fried racism, just as a sidebar.
I get all that for sure. That's also a good point. I can't imagine looking at a man the size of Abdullah the Butcher and going, I'm gonna fuck with that guy.
Now, I will say, Austin, to be fair, when we went to GCW, you're the one that was fucking jaw-jacking at Proud and Powerful, including that one motherfucker who did the twink hunt.
Yeah, I did jaw-jack the twink, Arrow the twink hunter. That's correct.
Yeah, the biggest of boys you could have possibly picked at that show, including both of the Fatus, mind you.
He would have absolutely killed me if he tried. But you see, David, I am not a twink, therefore I knew I was safe.
Yeah, but here's the problem. I was sitting next to you. So if it wasn't you, it was my ass in the line of fire on your behalf.
Oh, that's why he looks so mad. Not because I was jaw-jacking at him, because he saw you. And,
wait a minute. The other half of that tag team is a
predator instinct.
Wait. The other half of that tag team is a twink. Well, is he just one of the good ones, TM?
Yeah, I think he's one of the good ones to pair up.
Okay, all right. Well, at least we're on the same page.
Point being, Abdullah the Butcher insane. Is massive, big chungus motherfucker. It's not.
There's something about referring to Abdullah the Butcher as Big Chungus.
I mean, I'm right, aren't I?
Why are you booing me? I'm right.
So you got this big motherfucker who famously stabs people, and you're like, yeah, I'm gonna fuck with him.
Bro, I know, absolutely fuck. Well, I've been watching. Sometimes the balls on these people are insane. Again, especially in Southern fried racism land. I was watching. I've resolved that I'm gonna watch through Dark Side of the Ring because I remember that I have a Hulu subscription somehow still.
Yeah.
And it's on Hulu. So I've been trying to, and I started watching the New Jack episode last night, and New Jack was known for being yeah, I didn't know he was still alive as a sidebar. So
at the time, he was, yes.
Oh, well, was at that point.
He has died. He has died since then. But,
wild. But anyway,
he was alive to justify on air every single time he stabbed a guy in the ring.
I'm only in the first 10 minutes so far, so I cannot wait to see how crazy. I also love D'Lo. Sorry, total sidebar. I love D'Lo Brown being there as I didn't know he was part of New Jack's posse in Smoky Mountain, and he's there to be oh yeah, that was all kind of fucked up, but this is kind of how we did.
So you did get did they cover his famous Smoky Mountain promo? I'm sure they showed it. There's no way they don't. It's been a while.
The one where there are a few. I'm assuming the one where he's talking about the NAACP. Oh, there's the OJ one. There's also the NAACP one. But yes, the OJ promo. No. They cover it very briefly.
The OJ where he's like, OJ Simpson, keep up the good work, brother. 2 down. Yeah.
They cover it very briefly. It's part of a whole montage of them talking about there's a lot of racial tension in that time, especially it was around the time when Rodney King happened and the O.J. Simpson shit. Yeah. So I was just all right, I'm going to bring that to Smoky Mountain. And I went, the fuck?
No, Jim Cornette loved to play to his audience's virulent racism for heel.
Yes. And that says nothing at all about Jim Cornette as a person. Nothing whatsoever. Don't think about it. Hey, I see you there. Don't think about it. Stop.
I know I've talked about on this podcast before that Sunny was in Smoky Mountain Wrestling as a manager. That's how she got her start in wrestling. And she got massive heel heat for openly talking about her modeling herself after her biggest role model, Hillary Rodham Clinton.
Yes.
Boo!
Oh, I can only imagine what that was like. Yeah, New Jack's gonna need to step up his game as soon as you name drop fucking Hillary Clinton in the 90s.
I think he did. He was like OJ. He was like, thanks OJ for murdering 2 white people. So I think he might have pulled that off.
And then they likened a beatdown they did on the Rock and Roll Express, which to doing a role reversed Rodney King beating, and I went, what? Oh God!
Anyway, I don't know how anyone fucked with New Jack either.
I was trying to, yeah. Oh, that's the point. I completely forgot the point I was trying to make. The point is, at one point, he talks about a story where some presumably white kid comes up to him and asks if he can like shake his hand or something. And New Jack says, yeah. And the kid fucking rubs his hand all the way down New Jack's arm. He's like, yeah, my dad told me if I touch a black guy, I'll turn black. So I just wanted to see if that was true. And New Jack's like, the fuck? So like the bold, and again, this is New Jack, who's famous for being even more psychotic than Abdullah the Butcher, and like this is a child fully doing this. So like the balls on some of these people is all I'm trying to say is unmatched cojones. Anyway, enough about regional Abdullah's regional headwear. Let's talk about Manny's regional headwear.
Yeah, I mean this match is fun, but I also what can I say about it? It is two dudes trying to make each other bleed and die. By the way, I think the first match on the show is the only match on the show where nobody bleeds. But I don't think Terry Taylor and Buddy Landell didn't bleed. Everything
Maybe
else,
not. I also feel like the tag champion match didn't bleed. Am I crazy?
No, they did. Which one?
Rock and Roll Express versus Russians.
Oh no, the Russians and Rock and Roll absolutely, but some people got busted open in that. I even got busted open for sure.
He might have. Yeah. Fuck, that's a good point. Yeah. Oh, there are some crazy recurring themes. We'll get to them more as the show goes on. A lot of get to this later, but this is a show that really just builds and builds on itself. I will say, as much as we're kind of like, this is just kind of a fucking, match, or that it does what it says on the tin.
They are just
crazy
doing
moment where, I will say, crazy ass moment where Manny Fernandez, as much as a guy his size can to a guy the size of Abdullah the Butcher, fucking monkey flips Abdullah at one point. And I went, what the
I didn't know that. I didn't know Abdullah the Butcher ever took bumps like this, to be honest with you.
Yeah. Like these guys just pull out these random little things to surprise me.
He also does suplex him straight up at one point.
Yes. Now,
and he did it and Manny did it in no shoes, because part of the weapon spots is Manny took his boots off to hit Abdullah in the face.
Yeah, he saw Dusty's weapon boot and said, "Actually, this
I can do that too."
And hey, it's apparently enough to bust Abdullah open. So
I'm pretty sure a light breeze could bust Abdullah open, to be honest, at this point.
That's fair.
Abdullah Manny's face is fully red. Abdullah has blood all over his face and all over his chest. He made sure to spread the.
Oh my god! Oh, these guys are making sure to sell the brutality. There's a point where, like, after one of the boot hits, because Manny's like whacking fucking Abdullah in the head with the heel of his boot. There's a spot where Abdullah sells this attack by starting to like seize, but like he's being electrocuted in a cartoon type seizing, which was so goofy, but I loved it so much. The sheer level of insanity in the selling and in the presentation.
Manny Fernandez had to hit 3 flying burritos. Their words, not mine. It's his flying clothesline.
Yeah.
Which is so funny because in the WWE at this exact same time, you have Tito Santana, who's the Mexican wrestler, and his finisher is a flying clothesline. And Jesse Ventura, to be a dirty heel, calls his finisher the flying burrito. But in the NWA, that's just net neutral. That's fine. Mexican wrestler can have flying burrito as his finishing. That's fine.
Howdy, and yeehaw. We all like Tex-Mex here. Fucking. I will say, on the subject of Manny and his presentation, and he does have his shoes on because of the boot spots. I will say, it is a little hard to take Manny Fernandez fully seriously in this match when, in a tank top, jeans, and white tube socks, he just kind of looks like your dad on game day. like at home cracking open the beer. Like brother looks like he's just trying to watch the I don't fucking know what teams from Texas, the Tex I don't know
Texans, Cowboys.
Texans. Thank you, Jesus, the Texans. I was gonna say Texans, but that felt wrong. He's just there to watch the Texans or whatever. But and on the subject of what people are wearing, man, we cut across the crowd. Some crowd shots. So many of these people, man, are dressed up for this pay-per-view. I talked about the ball gown ladies. So many people are dressed up kind of. We used to be a real country, but no, people gotta show up in fucking graphic tees. Where are the tuxedos? Is all I'm saying.
Shitty wrestling shirts.
Shitty wrestling shirts. That's true. Foam finger. We used to be a real cut anyway. But yes,
Manny
also.
All right, just gonna.
Well, he knocks Butcher down. He knocks Butcher down, and I got this note from commentary. Bob Cottle's going, and the Butcher can't stand up. He's on one knee. Bob, he's gonna propose to Manny. True love.
Wow.
Oh wow. Oh.
But no, he knocks down the Butcher, and then Manny runs up to the top rope and snatches the sombrero right before Paul Jones was going to whack him with a cane.
Yeah, Paul Jones he's able to get the sombrero because Paul Jones is too fucking slow to get the interfere spot.
So go Manny.
I would have loved, I will say, to see Abdullah win this just to put on the sombrero like a goofy little guy.
I wanted to see Abdullah the Butcher wear the sombrero and the turban at the same time.
Oh my god. Talk about iconic fashion choices. God, that's just crazy. But yeah, this was a pretty fun match. It is interesting. You talk, it says on the 10 these guys are just trying to kill each other, but this is still 1985 wrestling, and in this day and age, a deathmatch is still mostly kind of standard graps, just with some weapons spots, some little weapon spots sprinkled without, and blading. This is this. We're not in street fight territory where guys are pulling out every single fucking weapon and doing the craziest gore spots possible. It's standard graps, but just spicier. But it's not bad by any stretch of the imagination. It's just really interesting to see where this sport was 40 years ago. Yeah. And the ostentation was not the people had yet to build up a tolerance to how hardcore this shit could be, so they need to take it even crazier. It's just really interesting to see, and there will be more matches like that I'll want to talk about this phenomenon more. But it's always just interesting. It's wild that a death match is still just almost your standard maybe slightly Extreme Rules John Moxley match in 2024. I don't know, just kind of interesting.
Mm-hmm. We have a backstage interview. Johnny Weaver is with Crusher Khrushchev. He says absolutely nothing interesting, but Crusher. Now, none of the Russians are from Russia. Ivan is Canadian. Nikita Koloff is also from Minneapolis, same as Crusher Khrushchev.
Well, he does the accent.
Right. It's so funny that that Barry Darsow doesn't even try to have a Russian accent. You got Ivan Koloff. Ivan Koloff talks like this. The filthy American referees. But then Crusher Khrushchev cuts the promo and he's like, yes, I'm winning this for the motherland against the biased American referees and the American crowd.
This man is definitely from the motherland. Again, to my point earlier of he definitely sounds like a hardened USS soldier. Yeehaw, howdy, and y'all.
Whatever. I guess you can just throw on the hammer and sickle, and everyone's like, "Look at this Russian piece of shit."
Well, because it made me question: is he supposed to be an American expat in kayfabe?
Now, apparently he is supposed to be an American expat, but That
Oh.
hasn't come up at all
Oh.
at this month. In this month we've covered of this fucking thing. So how am I supposed to know that?
That's true. That's true. Maybe they saw the fact that he wasn't even trying the accent and like, fuck, we need to run and
Right.
pronto. Gets the Kofi Kingston, aren't you supposed to be Jamaican meme, But yeah, he's not exactly the most compelling on mic, even leaving aside his the howdy yeehaw and y'all. But
he needs to go put on face paint or a burglar's mask.
That's true.
That's what he
I
needs
have
to do.
seen worse. This is not irredeemable. I have seen worse. But yes,
All right.
Next match, talk about iconic fashion choices. It's bull rope time, baby. And JJ Dillon is out here in his fucking tuxedo shirt.
A tuxedo shirt and his finest Wrangler jeans.
What
that
in
was
the shit?
Insane. Okay, so it's Ron Bass and Black Bart in the Texas bull rope match.
Which apparently has no time limit, which just imagine this shit going for like 5 hours, brother.
It does only go like 8 minutes, an appropriate length. But
yeah, why the fuck did they say it had no time limit? This doesn't go any crazy length of time.
They just want to sell how like we are beyond the pale of regular rules. There's no time limit anymore.
I feel like you apply that to the I Quit match later, but okay.
I'll be honest, this match a little disappointing to me because, and the reason why is because they don't do any spots with the bull rope except the cowbell. Like, I just feel like they don't make good use of their stipulation besides hitting each other with a cowbell.
That's not true. Ron Bass, toward the end of the match, does have the bull rope wrapped around Black Bart's neck, and I will give them this. He started doing that right around the time where I started being like, I feel like they should really use this bull rope to try to choke each other. So they do a choke spot with it, which, again, it's in 1985. We can only expect so much creativity. Like, fans haven't gotten desensitized to like the OG style yet. So this little bit is, it's about our modern sensibilities, right? Like,
but maybe I will say though, is I feel like this Starrcade show has a couple of instances where they repeat gimmicks between two consecutive matches. There's like a similarity. And on one hand, that makes sense in a way because they're going back and forth between each arena. So in this example, each arena gets a hardcore match. But like, why? Surely you could have paced the show differently so that it's not immediately obvious. Like, you're not seeing it back to back, right? Like, this is back to back matches. This is back to back matches of watching two dudes beat each other in the head with weapons.
That is fair. I did not notice it in the way you did, but that is a good point. You could have added that variety. But I mean, that said, like, match order is important, and I can see for the live viewing audiences why they would just kind of go back and forth like that, because that way they are kind of giving those live audiences the similar pacing experiences, even if it might be repetitive for the home viewer, right?
Yeah, if the home viewer having to watch both at once, it really emphasizes like, they're repeating a lot of spots and ideas here on this show.
Oh yeah, again, we'll get to some repeated ideas because it
the match is all right overall. Ron Bass wins after he does a top rope jump off with the cowbell to Black Bart. Pins him for the win.
Ron Bass, this entire he spends 90% of the match with the cowbell in his hand. Like, Black Bart gets like one spot with the cowbell, and the rest, Ron Bass is jealously clutching onto that cowbell.
This is just a full catharsis match.
Yeah, as if his life were dependent on it. Maybe he had a fever, and needed that
Hey, he
cowbell.
needed more
But
cowbell.
he's got the
But
cowbell in
then,
his
all right,
hands.
so they win the match, and J.J. Dillon immediately runs in and clocks Ron Bass, excuse me. He immediately runs in, and ladies, try to keep it under wraps because J.J. Dillon takes his fucking shirt off.
Hello, ladies,
And
and
we got shirtless J.J. Dillon in his jeans and
is
cowboy boots.
immediately in control of this second bull rope match.
The entire match, the point of the 5-minute bull rope match is that Ron Bass is going to get a beat up J.J. Dillon, and we still have to build heat on J.J. Dillon.
Except this is the fucking crazy part. The heat builds to something. It's not just random. They build to something there. Fucking he immediately gets Ron Bass by the neck, choking him out, which Ron Bass somehow hulks up from this.
He
And
hulks up from this.
And I was like, okay, this is the moment we've all been waiting for. I did appreciate that little bit of subversion at the beginning, though. It adds a little zhuzh to the match.
He clocks Dillon with the cowbell, so now J.J. Dillon also busted open.
Oh, you want to talk about clocked with the cowbell? The fucking Ron Bass is winding up a swing on the cowbell to hit J.J. Dillon, swings it a little too wide, vaguely bumps the ref in the stomach, and this turns into an entire ref bump.
There are so many ref
baby.
bumps. There are an obnoxious amount of ref bumps on this show.
The best that you could play a drinking game. Take a shot with every ref bump on this show.
Dusty!
You will be plastered. You will be fucked up. But yeah, ref gets full ass bumped.
Because Dusty Rhodes is booking the shows at this point. And I got notes for you, Dusty. All the ref bumps, huh, bud?
Virgil? What do you got against refs, brother?
So he knocks the ref out, and then Black Bart runs in.
Fake cowbell hit to the stomach. I really need to emphasize this.
And then Black Bart runs in and hits a pile driver on Ron Bass. Now I have to ask, why didn't he do this in the actual match?
Because he could. Oh, his match or the J.J. Dillon match?
Yeah. Why did he not? When it was Ron Bass versus Black Bart? Why did Black Bart not knock out the referee and hit a pile driver? That was apparently a thing he could have done.
Why would he need to knock out the referee for that? He could have just hit a pile driver.
There's a lot of ref bumps on this show that theoretically don't need to happen.
Well, in this match, they did stipulate, the J.J. Dillon match, that Ron Bass was not supposed to be in the ring. They do stipulate that. So the ref bump here makes sense. But, I guess in the original match, he just couldn't get it off, brother. Fucking Ron Bass is being far too aggressive with that cowbell.
I guess. So Black Bart hits the pile driver on Ron Bass, and he rolls J.J. Dillon onto Ron Bass, and the ref counts the pin. J.J. Dillon pins Ron Bass in the 3-minute after match.
What in the fuck? J.J. Dillon for the dub? Hello? I do appreciate that this is the match where I was going, we know exactly what's going to happen. We know what this is building to. J.J. Dillon is going to die. And then, to their credit, they subverted expectations. My whole ass was subverted there. J.J. Dillon for the dub. What in the
which will lead to one of my favorite J.J. Dillon promos I've listened to for this arc later in the show.
Yep.
I had a lot of fun with his post-match promo later.
J.J. Dillon is an animal.
I've gained a real appreciation for J.J. Dillon doing this arc.
Yeah.
I've never really seen his work before, but as a manager, love this guy.
Yeah, I'm digging him. There are a few guys like that, but J.J. Dillon is one of them where I'm like, you know what? You're all right. I dig it.
All right. And speaking of matches where the gimmick is that there's a whole extra bonusy thing on top of the regular match.
Oh God,
It's time.
we're getting crossover over crossover because like it's a spectrum. We had the bleeding match, we had a second bleeding match, but also a bonus match, and now
It's
we're
a
going
Venn
to another like
diagram.
absolutely.
So it's the arm wrestling match between Superstar Billy Graham and the Barbarian. Superstar Billy Graham came out to Team Tamu Final Countdown.
Damn, I did not
It,
notice
it
this.
It is no. I heard. I was like, holy shit! This is fake Final Countdown. I
That's
imagine he came out
incredible.
to real Final Countdown on the actual show.
Almost
But
certainly. And a young Brian Danielson went noni.
So they come the arm wrestling match for $10,000. This is weird in that this is weird. Let's just quickly go through this match. This match kind of sucks anyway. This is such a weird arm wrestling match in that it follows the same beats for all worked arm wrestling matches, but it lacks any of the usual gimmicks of a worked arm wrestling match. But what I mean by that is that we don't have any hoo-ha where the Barbarian doesn't want to start yet. Like, we don't have the thing where they're about to set up and then the Barbarian's like, nope, I'm not ready yet. That's the staple of this gimmick.
That is a staple. That is true.
And then the arm wrestling match goes about how you think it would, in that originally Barbarian's got the advantage. Oh no! What's Billy Graham gonna do? And then Billy Graham slowly fights forward and he just wins. Normally, this is also about the point of time where right before the babyface wins clean, the heel flips the table. And no, he does actually bring Barbarian's hand down. Now, immediately afterwards, Paul Jones hits Billy Graham in the head with the cane. But he waited. He was winding up the cane for as soon as the arm wrestling match ended.
Oh, he was waving it behind the Barbarian the entire time. But Austin, you need to remember, as they pointed out on commentary, apparently the Barbarian has never arm wrestled before. They just threw that one into the canon. Not only is he ambidextrous, but he has never arm wrestled in his life, which is a creative choice you can make for the storytelling. And Billy Graham the whole time is selling this shit like it's on clearance, okay? He's like his face is going through 5 stages of hell on loop. He's straight, brother. It's not that serious. Barbarian's never done this before. You don't need to go that crazy with it. They do a thing where like Barbarian starts off holding both of his hands to Billy Graham, and they're like, "No, you idiot! That's not how arm wrestling works."
No,
but
what?
But yeah, like. Clearly, the reason we're not getting any of the usual shenanigans is because the Barbarian has never arm wrestled before and doesn't know the decorum for a heel in a worked arm wrestling match. Obviously.
Guess. But Paul Jones immediately whacks Billy Graham with a cane, and you guessed it, Billy Graham is busted open. We are blading it for the arm wrestling match.
Oh my god. Yeah, well, to be fair, post-arm wrestling, it would have been iconic as fuck if they found a way to blade during the arm wrestling match.
Yeah, so they go straight into the regular match. It goes 3 minutes. I would say it's the worst match on the show.
Probably, yeah.
Billy Graham gets in his patented bear hug, and then Paul Jones runs in and whacks him with the cane again. And this means Billy Graham wins by DQ.
Oh my god. Yeah, so much about this fucking angle doesn't make sense and doesn't quite work. The arm wrestling thing was just played super straight. Billy Graham trying to make it seem like it's a big deal. Fucking the heel shenanigans are not placed in any of the right spots. Like, I talked about the potential for Barbarian's cast to be used as a weapon in
really doesn't.
either of these matches.
He hits him once with the cast, and that's it.
But the thing is, it's not even a legit cast. It's just like a couple extra layers of wrapping tape. Like, there's no fiberglass to be found here, brother. I will say the Billy Graham bear hug, it's a rebound into a bear hug, which is interesting. I don't know how often I see a rebound into a straight bear hug, so that's kind of neat. But the Shivani on commentary is one point talking about how he has those pythons right around the Barbarian, which damn, he really is just Southern Variant Hogan. And then yes, Paul Jones, the rabid animal man who just can't fucking stop himself, comes into the ring. Kane is swinging and gets the Barbarian disqualified. Brother, you are useless. First, you can't fucking get to Manny Fernandez quick enough to knock him off the pole, and now you disqualify your own guy because you're not even smart enough to bump the ref first. Paul,
and he still has to pay out that $10,000 for the fucking arm wrestling match
because he didn't think to tell the Barbarian to flip the table if he's about to fucking lose. Like, brother, Paul Jones is deeply ineffective, and I want all of his clients' money back on their behalf.
He calls himself number one. And this is how he performs in the big time.
It's number one in that he's doing a piss poor job. Hey. And then of course he stays beating up on Billy Graham once the match is done. Where is my swarm of security guards?
No. Then the next match for the national title. It's the Nature Boy, Buddy Landel, against Terry Taylor. Notably, J.J. Dillon comes out during about halfway through the match. He has redressed himself in his normal suit attire, tuxedo attire, but he does have a big bandage on his head.
Which I will say, fashion forward, he's wearing the white bandage around his head, and it's a white tux. So at least it matches. Lame as it is that he doffed the tuxedo t-shirt. But yeah, baby, it's Terry time. And Austin, I swear to God, I'm not memeing here. This is where the show really started to pick up for me. Like, I didn't hate the previous matches. They range from like to and I'm having fun. But like, this is where the work started to really pick up for me. I mean, unironically, hot start to the match. Like, the heat off the bat was great.
Yeah, it's a good technical wrestling match.
Yeah, that's my goat. Yeah,
I'd like to skim through this one for time constraint reasons, but yeah, I mean it's a good technical wrestling match. It's one of the better matches on the show. I'd say it's the best match of the mid card matches on the show.
I would maybe say that. Nature Boy is a hard fucking hitter, okay? And Terry does a good job at selling it. I'm gonna make the dangerous assumption here that he's not getting stiffed, but yeah, these guys are working it real good, and the crowd is going nuts the whole time too, which like really helps the atmosphere. It makes me wonder if like Terry is like was like a heartthrob of the era to them or something, because like
I mean they are trying to play him sort of like that. They do. I guess they want him to be a young up and comer, and he's not unattractive, so that might be a natural byproduct. He's got a little bit of heartthrob status.
I mean, to be fair, after that one Ric Flair promo on the last episode, the WC Dubs just got some real fucking thirsty fans. Male and female. But yes, poor yellow bell bottoms jumpsuit ref takes another bump. Poor guy cannot catch a fucking break.
Bumps.
And then takes a second bump. This guy takes multiple bumps in the same match. This poor man. J.J. Dillon tries to get up on the apron at one point.
He tries to hit he takes his shoe off to try to hit Terry with it, but Terry reverses and causes a malfunction. He goes for his giggle.
The crowd goes fucking feral for this, which like again, partially the Terry Taylor thing. I also wonder if like good pacing of the card here, even if like again for the home audience to make it repetitive. I wonder if like the heat from J.J. Dillon in the earlier matches carrying over here too. Again,
that could
that
be. It could be.
whole winning the thing might be building to something here, which smart booking. That's neat to see.
Yeah. So this match ends. Terry Taylor goes up for his superplex, but then J.J. Dillon jumps up, hooks Terry's leg while he's on the top rope. Terry fall. I mean, it's a swipe. It's a bit of a swipe.
Yeah.
Grab.
Yeah.
But he knocks Terry off the top rope, and Buddy Landel falls on top of Terry Taylor and pins him with JJ holding the leg down as well from the outside. And 1, 2, 3, Buddy Landel is the new national champion.
JJ Dillon wins again.
Yeah. So JJ Dillon doing nothing. Paul Jones, nothing but L's tonight. JJ Dillon, nothing but dubs.
That's fucking true. Yeah, the virgin Paul Jones versus the Chad JJ Dillon. Absolutely based. So Austin, before we move on, let me just hear one more time. What do you think about this match?
That was a pretty decent match. One of the better ones on the show.
What was that? I couldn't quite hear that.
Fuck off. The national nightmare is over. Terry Taylor is not the champion anymore.
Yeah, well, we can quibble about how happy or sad that outcome is, but nevertheless, really started to pick up. And again, I really need to emphasize, I did not dislike the card to start, but it's been a build. Like the superstar match was but like I did not dislike anything so far. This was just, we're stepping up now, which was cool.
It's time. We are getting that. That's a traditional wrestling card. You're building up towards better and better matches as the show goes on.
Absolutely. But yes, it's fucking Minnesota Wrecking Crew versus Billy Jack Haynes and Wahoo McDaniels. One last time before we leave this arc, it will never, ever not be wild to me. Because, it's so stark even coming out for this match. So much so that I got them fucking confused for split seconds at some points during this match. It will never not be wild to me. They managed to find two completely fucking unrelated guys from completely different parts of the country who look extremely convincingly like brothers. Ole and Arn Anderson could pass for actual blood siblings, and it fucks with my head. And again, there are moments in this match where I legit got them mixed up for brief seconds. And I was like, that's Arn. Nope, that's Ole. So, I just have to point that out. Guys, if you're listening and you have not seen matches from these guys, you haven't seen pictures, look it up, because it's fucked.
Yeah. This match was okay. I don't know. I think part of me wanted it to be a little bit better than it was.
Yeah, I feel like part of this is we have 2024 sensibilities about wrestling, and it's a company like early WCW where it's all about the graps. I think we might come in with an expectation of what real graps, all bangers pay-per-views look like. And it's not quite this because the sensibilities were different. So, I would want this to be a crazy fucking 30-minute blowout where these guys are pulling out the craziest shit we've never seen before. But that's not what the wrestling of the time was. Now, I will give you, I don't think this is a standout match of the card. But again, I don't think it was bad by any stretch of the imagination, at least personally.
That's fair. Kind of want to yada yada's one. It is a hard hitting match if that is your thing. These dudes
my god! Yeah, I talked about Buddy Landel and Terry Taylor.
They're hyping up the Wahoo chops. The Andersons obviously are going to hit hard. Billy Jack hits hard.
Again, I wondered aloud if there was the slightest possibility that Buddy Landel was stiffing Terry Taylor in the last match. I think these guys just are stiffing each other, but that they're into it. Because holy shit, these guys could fucking truck their way through just about anyone. What I appreciate about thinking about this from the sensibility of the era is there's a lot of hold working in this match, especially in the early segments of this match, but also they do take little moments to show that they can like schmoove too. Like Arn does some kind of jumping something or other that I was like, I didn't know Arn could jump like in general. So like it never feels like terribly stagnant to me. But again, maybe that's just my being less versed in this stuff than you are, but like I don't know. It's felt structured well, which I appreciated. Also, more ref bumps in this match. I'm pretty sure there's also starting to be a running theme of vaguely tripping your opponent from the outside, which started last match with fucking JJ Dillon like swiping at Terry Taylor and managing to fuck his entire trajectory so Buddy Landel got the pin, and now in this match it's how Minnesota Wrecking Crew fucking wins the match.
It is. Ole Anderson from the outside trips up Wahoo McDaniel and holds down his foot so Arn can pin him.
Which he does twice. He trips him once in the match. Fucking Wahoo gets up from it, and then he just trips him again.
God damn it, this is the finish of the match. I don't do it. And then after the match, though, Johnny Weaver tells us there will be a 15-minute intermission, presumably because they got to build the cage in Greensboro. And we don't see the intermission. They just cut straight to the end of it on the feed for us here at the home audience. Very appreciated. They fade back into J.J. Dillon and Buddy Landel interviewing with Johnny Weaver. J.J. Dillon is like, this is the greatest night of my career. And he talks about how he was, he hoped that Black Bart would beat Ron Bass, but he prepared for the worst outcome. And he was getting beaten down there, but then he showed an intestinal fortitude he didn't even know he had, and he got the win against Ron Bass.
He was hyping himself up. He was feeling himself.
J.J. Dillon calls himself the uncrowned bull rope match champion.
Absolutely. Get that man a belt, okay? He's earned it. Now, I do need to point out that this entire fucking time, Buddy Landel is just flexing right in front of Johnny Weaver, like standing directly in front of this man. The camera cannot see Johnny Weaver, and just Buddy Landel's there going like, like absolutely iconic behavior from Dillon and Buddy here. Great stuff.
Yeah. And then Buddy just talks up how, he's J.J. Dillon has turned his career around, and he has modeled his career after the winners like Ric Flair and Tully Blanchard and the Andersons. And he's like, everyone can run their mouth, but he's got the belt here, and he's excited. And Buddy.
The winners.
We do have to look a little bit in the future here, as mere days after this pay-per-view, he would no-show an event for the NWA and overall just struggled mightily with drug addiction problems in his career.
Oh, no.
And so Dusty Rhodes strips Buddy of the national title and just claims the belt as his own, making it kayfabe. Dusty Rhodes' booker strips Buddy of the belt, and they name Dusty as the champion, claiming that Dusty beat Buddy in an untelevised match that absolutely did not happen.
What the fuck?
So,
Dusty
what a
had
great
the book
moment.
all right.
He had the book, Daddy. He had the book, Daddy. So, congratulations to Buddy Landel. He will be champion for 3 weeks. And Dusty will be awarded the title after Buddy Landel got fired for drug problems. Let's go.
Yikes. Fuck.
So good.
Bro, I looked him up. He is deceased and died in a car accident, but it doesn't say that it was on him, and he seemed to be clean of drugs by that point. So, man, Poor guy.
At least there's that.
At least there's that.
But let's
But
move
like,
on to
oh
the
God.
next match. It is the I Quit
It's
match.
time.
Holy shit, the hype is real as these
Absolutely.
men enter the cage. And
As he's announcing them, Tom Miller casually calls Baby Doll a perfect 10. Is that part of her ring name, or was that Bob Miller Tom Miller editorial?
I'm sure it is her name, but I've never heard the announcer say
I've
it.
also never heard it. Okay. Okay. Well,
now,
I will say on the subject of perfect 10 Baby Doll though, and fashion choices, Baby Doll here with, I guess it makes sense, but I never conceptualized this as a thing in 1985. Baby Doll with the body glitter. What a fucking icon. Anyway.
Speaking of perfect tens, this match.
This was pretty good.
Now, this is, a lot of people will call this one of the greatest I Quit matches of all time. I do see that argument. I'd have to evaluate other I Quit matches I think are really good. I will say this, though. I think this might be the best I Quit match at feeling like these are two men who want to kill each other.
That is absolutely true.
I've never seen a more hate-filled I Quit match.
I will say, Cope versus Christian earlier this year comes pretty close, but this was and again, this is where like the 1985 of it all becomes really interesting, because similar to what I was talking about with the Abdullah match, this is not like a crazy fucking weapons fest. This is a few weapon spots, and then for the rest of it, real grabs.
They do throw each other into the cage a lot to cause both guys to get
but what's really interesting, and what I did appreciate about the work of this match, and I don't know how much this was like in them intentionally trying to do this, and how much is again just the 1985 of it all, but something that is interesting about the match work here overall is that these two guys are staying on top of each other for almost the entire match. There is very little space that is ever left between the two of them. And that is not the case for most of the matches on this card. Most of the matches on this card have moments where like they space out, they're like dancing around, whatever. But like these guys are just on top of each other the entire time.
Because they want to kill each other.
Because they want to kill each other.
One of these men needs to die, is how both of them feel.
Pretty much, yeah. And that does create a really cool dynamic where like the tension, we joke about, the violence yaoi, the sexual tension, but for real, the fact that these two guys can't keep their hands off of each other, there is, I think, something to be said for that. And I think it is effective, even if it doesn't like, it's not the standard I Quit match affair that we're used to 40 years later. It's still, there's something really cool about it. And that applies to them trying to get each other to submit, because they every couple of minutes are trading back and forth. One of them screaming in the other's face, "Do you quit? No. Do you quit? No." Like they're insistent with each other on it.
I want to also point out, keeping on the same lines here, is that come back to the hate thing, but like people talk a lot about like sometimes you'll see matches that are supposed to be like blood feud affairs, and then they wrestle it too much like a normal match. I think the one that I always remember is like everyone talks about Seth Rollins and Dean Ambrose had a big blow off on a WWE pay-per-view, post Shield breakup. It's supposed to be this big climactic moment, and then they start doing lockups, and everyone was like, okay, this feels like a regular wrestling match here. It does not feel like a blood feud fight. Bit of a mistake there. And I'm not one to normally harp on that kind of thing too much. I think most matches do fine with that. But if you wanted to do a case study of like what it means to wrestle a match where it feels like you genuinely hate each other. This isn't a competitive thing. This isn't, trying to be the best. This is like, I hate you. I want to physically hurt you. Both men feel like that. This match is a perfect example of of bringing that energy to the match.
I agree wholeheartedly. It's Graps, but it's especially angry Graps. And
Yes,
which sounds goofy to say, but like legit it works. And also like strikes galore, which really helps sell too. Again, all these
they
fucking
hard.
boys in the South are
Yeah,
hard hitters.
absolutely. They get all a big chunk of the match is them kind of trading back and forth, beating down each other and yelling at each other's faces. A thing that I think this match does really well that some I Quit matches do wrong. The referee doesn't have the microphone because the thing that kills I Quit matches the most, in my opinion, is when the pacing falls too deeply into hit a move, do you quit? No. Hit a move, do you quit? No.
Yeah.
And I think when the referee has the microphone, that definitely gets to like that happens more often, I think. When the referee
That's
has
fair.
the microphone.
I talked about Cove Christian. They did have the ref with the mic on that one, but I will say something I did appreciate about that match is that it was spaced out. Like it
Yeah.
was a whole sequence. Do you quit? No, another whole sequence. And then at the end, they started being a little more insistent, but it was kind of, there was like they have Christian like fucking handcuffed to the ropes and Cope's bringing out I'm gonna hit you in the nuts with with all this nail board. So like
Yeah.
that was a good use. But here, they are more insistent on it, but it's the two of them, and that builds the character of the match.
They're the ones who initiate the like, do you quit situation. Which and first of all, they also use the mic as a weapon a lot, which really is really sick. But then you
Yeah,
are gonna
and like, may I say, we talk about the 1985 of it all. In the 1985 of it all, these are some real fucking mic bumps. All right,
they do
these
not
days,
give a
some
shit
pussy
about
ass shit with these mic bumps. This is oh
they are
baby
not afraid. They're not afraid of these guys. I don't think they understand enough about audio science
concussions.
to know that you could like blow your ears out getting
That's
hit with a
yeah,
live microphone like that. They don't give a fuck.
absolutely.
Uh,
Are you kidding
the
me?
but no, I loved a lot of the match of like Tully beating down on Magnum, is yelling, "Say it, say it, say it!"
And like, I
And
swear, there are
Tully,
points where he's like
no,
shoving the mic
in
in
his
his mouth.
mouth. And
Yeah.
Magnum does it to Tully too. They're like shoving
Oh
him
my
down
god.
their throat.
Oh yeah, this is some true violence, Yowie. All right, we are hearing them like peek the mic
Dude,
with their
A
grunting and
couple of times
screaming.
Magnum was holding the microphone at his crotch level with
Absolutely.
Tully down on him. It's like, brother.
Ah, wink. These men
Yeah.
understood the assignment. Is all I'm saying.
Yeah, so the match kind of the end of the first of all, fucking ref bumps. Of course there are. I don't know why there's a ref
There's
bump
no
here.
fucking reason for a ref bump in this match. Tully just does it because he's a psycho.
He's like,
That's it. He
fuck
doesn't need to
you.
bump the. He doesn't need to
So
bump the ref.
then,
He gets a chair, breaks it open for a weapon in full view of
no,
the ref,
to
who's
be
a turn by
clear,
this point, and then he just
all right,
kicks the ref again.
all right, to be clear here, Baby Doll throws a wooden ass chair into the ring.
Yes.
And Tully does not use the chair as a weapon. No, no, no.
No, in fact, it's
He
kind of
break
broken by the time he picks it
he
up.
he breaks it, and he
That's
just
true, but
takes
it looked wobbly, which I imagine was
it was
the
a little
fact that Baby
rough
Doll threw a wooden chair over the
over
length
the
of the
ring. Yeah,
anyway.
he breaks off a leg of the chair into a spike, and he tries to stab Magnum TA with a wooden spike. He is trying to fucking vampire stake him.
Yup. Right through the
Live.
forehead. Not to the heart. Right through the fucking forehead. He's braining him with that stake.
Magnum fights off of it, and then Magnum gets the stake. And then he actually stabs Tully in the fucking head with the stake. And that makes Tully finally scream, yes, he quits.
Absolutely. And it was beautiful to see. And after the match, Magnum is considering staking him again, but decides, nah, I'm done here. Which
I've won.
he's finally satisfied. Which some petulant baby shit here that he dragged this out so much just because he didn't want to accept losing. But there is something that goes really hard about like He had that say he could have done it again, but nah, he's finally satisfied, which is really cool.
So
And
Magnum
man,
TA,
I will say I've been kind of like critical of the Magnum TA promo presentation here, just because like I don't think he like I don't know emotes enough. Although I will say, watching more of this, I kind of realize like. And I think I talked about it a little on this last episode. This kind of seems to be the default of the era. Like, these guys aren't media trained the way, like, WWE stars probably were.
No.
So, like,
No.
for what it was, I do have more of an appreciation. So, for anyone who's listening to this and is getting really mad about how I talked about Magnum, and again, not in a hateful way, I was like, there is a lot here. It doesn't click for me as, like, the greatest of all time. I do have more of appreciation. And in ring, I fucking get it. That man looked insanely good, and Tully did too. Both of them looked incredible in this match. But so for anyone who's been fretting about my Magnum TA takes, rest assured, I get it. We're full on Danny DeVito meme here. I get it now. Like, don't worry, we're good. We're Gucci.
So fantastic match, arguably the best one on the show. Definitely one worth going and watching if you can.
100%. I would agree with that.
Then we really cut on down to the Atlanta street fight. Jim Cornette appears over the speakers to announce the Midnight Express. And
which, bro, speaking of Cornette, on their match graphic, where is the E in Cornette's name? It doesn't have the E at the end. They just spell it Cornett. Dusty was over here being like, ending your name with a silent E is no good, baby. That's what them Northerners do, all right? We here at the WCW, we spell things the way good, proud Americans do. We don't need no silent E's, baby.
Holy shit. All right, so this was funny in the way that this is a street fight, so no one comes dressed in their wrestling clothes. The Midnight Express come out in tuxedos.
Talk about fashion icons. Holy shit. And again, white tuxes too. These guys were going nuts with it.
Yeah, and then Jimmy Valiant comes out in jeans and a t-shirt and a tank top or whatever, and Miss Atlanta Lively is just in a dress. I took note of the heels, and I was like, really? Ronnie Garvin didn't put on sensible shoes for the wrestling match, huh? Still going to wrestle in heels.
That's a true worker right there, brother. That is a man who appreciates the art of drag, okay? I don't know if Ronnie Garvin is still alive and has objectionable opinions about drag queens, but I
would be a little I would be a little disappointed if he did.
I would be I'm not mad, but I'm disappointed. But what's funny here is for like this entire arc with the Miss Atlanta Lively thing, like, Miss Atlanta Lively's face has been kept kind of obscured in the shadows. We can't.
Probably because it would be super obvious.
Yeah,
the whole game gets given away if you actually.
The Starrcade cameramen did not get the memo here because we get several shots.
Ronnie Garvin could have done a little bit better job of hiding his face in makeup.
Miss Atlanta Lively's face is in full fucking cinemascope here, baby, and oh my god, it becomes immediately obvious that this is fucking Ronnie Garvin.
Is this very Ronnie Garvin looking woman? And Miss Atlanta Lively.
Oh, damn, does Ronnie have a sister or something? God damn.
God damn. Ronnie's twin sister. Man, Ronnie Garvin is a hot twin sister.
It just becomes immediately apparent that the fuck this is.
Anyway, this match is 6 minutes of comedy nonsense, to be honest.
I love it.
Not really comedy nonsense in the way we think of it today, but like it's just bullshit going on. The match starts, and in 0.5 seconds, Miss Atlanta Lively pulls talcum powder out of her purse and throws it at beautiful Bobby Eaton.
Yeah! Fucking yeah! Let's go! It was so good!
Everyone's just fucking around for like 6 minutes.
Delightful. And Midnight Express are wrestling in their full ass tuxes. They are taking them up. They do try to strip down Lively at one point, but then
they try to pay Lively, which was
Uno reverse she turns it around at him and starts stripping the Midnight Express.
She strips their tuxedos off.
And then they get Tournette's ass in the ring and start stripping him down too. Damn, our last episode with our Elizabeth episode really was a pregame for this match in particular. You know, goddamn, those strippers really coming back.
And guess what? Jimmy Valiant whips out his belt as a weapon, but Dennis, whatever the other one that's not Bobby, Dennis Condrey, takes the belt and hits Jimmy Valiant with it, and guess fucking what? Jimmy Valiant's busted open.
Yo, even in our goofy ass drag queen comedy match, we're busting some motherfuckers open. How incredibly based is that?
Jim Cornette gets in the ring and hits Atlanta Lively with the tennis racket. They set up, so they have the finishes. They have Jimmy Valiant down, and they're going for the Alabama Jam, the finishing move. And Miss Atlanta, this is the payoff, David. What was Miss Atlanta Lively's big thing? Having a strong right hand. And so the match ends when Miss Atlanta Lively runs in, intercepts Bobby Eaton midair to uppercut him hard, and then she pins Bobby Eaton for the win.
Miss Atlanta Lively with the dub. Again, it's not quite as funny knowing that it's an actual wrestler, so it's not like crazy for this random outsider to get a dub like that. But still, like, they give Atlanta Lively the pin, which I think is incredible. The flawless execution of this angle. No notes. I was fully ready for them to be on some transphobic bullshit. But after
the match, they strip Jim Cornette down to his underwear, and he's got goofy heart underwear, classic cartoon shit. Only other note is I did note at one point in the match, you can see Miss Atlanta Lively kind of walk away and fix the wig a little bit. I did note the wig.
That, that's incredible.
Had to adjust the wig to make sure that stays on her. The whole thing is ruined.
That's amazing. The dedication to 10 out of 10. Perfect match. No notes. Absolutely delightful and iconic. Thank you. It's funny too, because so WCW does the thing where after each match they'll show a static image as they go away from the match, as they go away from it, just, a little recap. And for some reason, the static image here that they close out from this match is real fucking bouncy on the screen. This happens a couple times. No idea what production wonk causes that to happen, but it is extremely funny that there's a static image, but it's just going on the screen. Okay, yeah. Delightful. And then, speaking of production wonk and the match graphics, whoops, they start the next match graphic too early before they cut away to Bob Weaver and Magnum TA doing an interview, but, whatever.
Yeah, Magnum has a pretty decent interview here. He's just I want the belt. His back where it belongs. He should have never come down to an I Quit match.
Which, true, but not for the reason that you're saying.
And he said that, the U.S. title is the most prestigious title, bar none. Except for the World Cup. My bad. And he is he will be taking on all comers. He name drops Nikita Koloff. He name drops Buddy Landell. Oof. He name drops Arn Anderson. He's a fighting champion, and he's anyone wants to take the belt off me, I'm not a hard man to find.
He also says that an I Quit match isn't really wrestling, which is a cool angle to look at it from, but it doesn't work as well in 1985 when an I Quit match is still mostly grabs.
It's still mostly wrestling, but you're a little more bloody than normal.
Yes. Yeah, I guess that's not real wrestling, which damn, that's unfortunate. But yes, the Magnum charm, I really see it in this promo too, paired with him being kind of winded after a match, it works really well. And that closing line of "I'm not a hard man to find," oh fuck, brother, that was good. He said he's done it all over the country with Tully. So now he's ready.
Wink,
So
wink.
he's just ready to find someone else to do it with all over the
Him
country.
him, Tully and Baby Doll. They've been doing it all over.
All over the country. Oh, baby. All over the rug. All over the couch. God bless America. Anyway, it's Russian time.
It's time for the Greensboro main event.
It's time for yeah, this is also a cage match, which did we know that?
Yeah, we did.
Oh, okay. I forgot that part then. But it is time for one of the only two non-dubbed songs on this entire card. Because the Russians come out, I swear to shit, the Russians' music is not dubbed because the sound quality on it is far worse than any of the other entrance music on this fucking show. I think that's just their original music and they didn't have to dub it out because it's just, I don't know, the USSR theme or something.
Yeah. It's the Rock and Roll Express with Don Kernodle versus Ivan and Nikita Koloff, the Russians, with Crusher Khrushchev. Now,
why is Don Kernodle in ring gear? I thought he was just a manager. Is he a wrestler? Am I crazy?
He is a wrestler. He had a match on the last episode of WCW.
Oh, fuck. Oh, yeah, he did. Okay. But he's not fighting tonight. Why is he in gear?
No. That's a good question. But that's not one we get an answer to.
Okay. Also, question for you, because this is the main event, and it gets kind of presented a certain way. So, in the hierarchy of, like, the territories and the cartel, were the NWA titles seen as more prestigious to hold than the promotion-specific titles?
Yes.
Okay.
The NWA titles always superseded any individual promotional title because
that's
NWA
right.
is all the promotions.
I kind of figured, but like I wanted to because it was interesting to me that like this main event, this semi-main to the whole show, is like it's for an NWA title, and I guess Flair's is an NWA title.
Because he's the NWA World Champion.
And like, is this not what you think of? You think of them doing like the show specific, but yeah. So anyway, that's neat. The old timey announcing here is on full blast. Like it's Tom Miller again, and dude is like he's like to my left. We have the Rock and Roll Express with Don Kernodle as their second, in their corner as their chosen second. Like, it's very specific details into how it, like, this is so fucking pre-curtain call. Like, this is a real sport, baby. All the attention to detail, like, we are trying to make this come off as legit as possible. It's just always kind of delightful to see how different the presentation sounds and how they like try to make it feel a little more grounded, I guess.
Yeah.
So Don Kernodle is their second. But yes, it is time. And man, kicking off this match, we have not gotten to see this as much in action because both these teams have just been jobber squashing for this entire arc. But man, Rock and Roll Express were really ahead of their time, weren't they?
They really were fucking good at wrestling, man.
Yeah. Like the commentary talks about this. Like, they are scarily in sync as a tag team. Just their ability to feed off each other is incredible. And like the 1985 of it all, they're doing shit that would like look good in 2024. And now again, it's not like we're not looking at like a fucking Will Ospreay or Young Bucks match here that would like blow your fucking mind. But relative to like what else we've got on the card, this is so modern to relative to us.
They pioneered the entire modern concept of tag team match structure. You know, we're always feeding, you know, the babyface beatdown, feeding to the hot tag. They really revolutionized and popularized that whole concept.
And I can see how it works for them too, because they have this kind of, again, they're flippy boys. They have this young, manic energy about them, where they're just like schmoovin' ass to get to get the job done. And their chemistry is insane. They're fast. Like this was, and there's a great flow. And honestly, they have really good chemistry with the Russians too. There's a great little bit where, like, again, it's nothing that would blow your mind today, but for the time, crazy. Like, rope running, there was, like, that's kind of, standard. You run the ropes at a opponent, and your opponent tries to strike you, and you duck it as you keep running, and then you hit the other side, you rebound. But, like, so we're doing that. Rock and roll, I cannot keep them straight, but one of the expressors ducks under, I think it was
Ricky Morton is blonde.
It might have been Ricky Morton. It might have been Ricky Morton. Ducks under, I think it was ducks under Nikita. And, like, Nikita's trying to swing at him, ducks under him. Nikita fucking, like, picks, or it might have been, actually, I think it was Ivan. Ivan, like, he rebounds, Ivan grabs him, picks him up, throws him over, but then, who's the not blonde one?
Robert Gibson.
Robert Gibson comes, like, he picks him up. Oh, sorry, not throws him behind. Chucks him face first into the cage. Oh, no. Picks him up, throws him behind, face first into the cage. And then Robert Gibson, like, oh, no, I think of the ending. No, this was just, like, run, grab, throw. But, like,
wait to talk about
again, like, but again, looks great. Also, the how fast they move. Bob Caudle at one point speaks of how the Rock and Roll Express were befuddling the Russians, which I need more wrestling announcers to talk like that. Max Striker wishes, But yes, this is just special.
I'll be able to say, though, the funniest thing about this match is they wrestle under regular tag rules, and even the announcers agree they don't have to do that. Like, they stay in corners and wait for a tag. It's a no DQ cage match. Tony Schiavone at one point is like, I mean, the Russians can kind of do whatever they want. They don't have to follow that, but everyone's just like, no, it's a tag match. I must wait for the tag.
The tag is sacred.
Pretty much any modern tag cage match is not going to work like that. It is going to be everybody in the ring the whole time, because there's no rules. It's a cage match.
Yes, but the tag is sacred, Austin.
Yeah, it does lead to the sick ass ending, though. I'll give him that. So, Ivan.
Of course, there's another ref bump.
There is a ref bump, of fucking course. Why did there need to be a ref bump in the cage match?
Because we needed a visual pin for the Russians, I guess.
Whatever. So Ivan tosses up Robert Gibson. He's throwing him over his shoulder, over his back. Robert Gibson, midair, makes
except there's a. Oh yeah, it is midair. Yep.
Is midair because he makes a blind tag to Ricky Morton, and Ricky Morton rolls up Ivan to win the match. It's just like it was
bum rushes Ivan, knocks him down, and rolls him up, which was it. Like blink and you miss it. It was cool as hell, and the place comes fucking unglued. USA. Yeah, of course, and of course the Russians aren't having this. They brutal post match beatdown. They get out there whipping chains, yada yada.
Ricky Morton leaves his partner to die as Ricky Morton gets out of the cage, and then Ricky Morton is left alone to take a triple team move from the Russians.
Jesus Christ. Damn.
But who cares? The Rock and Roll Express are the tag champs. Fuck you.
Absolutely. The that's all that matters, baby. Sorry I left you behind, brother, but we got the belts. Don't think about it too hard. And then what was really funny is they put up the match graphic for Dusty Rick over the carnage that is still happening in this ring. They don't cut back to Atlanta yet. They're still in Greensboro fucking cleaning up the carnage as the Dusty Rick graphic comes up. So, oh boy, it's time. Here we go. I am surprised. I made a joke about, the Dusty music earlier. I'm surprised they don't dub in Dusty's Fed music into this, which
they don't. They just kind of do generic music. Obviously, Ric Flair comes out to the
Thus Zarathustra.
Read that.
Yeah,
I never.
I have to say, I've always found Rick's
It's
use
the
of that song. Yeah,
duh, duh, duh. I know that. I don't remember
the
fucking.
2001 Space Odyssey song, for those of you who aren't
Yeah,
music nerds like I am. And I'm not even that much of a music nerd, but I do know enough to say "Thus Spake Zarathustra," which is a hell of a title. But yes, I've always found that song kind of corny, but like, nah, something about it kind of hits here, which neato, that it's cool as hell. Ref checks for weapons, but again, we're trying to make it a real sport. But he's too late. Dusty's boot is already in the ring. Ref,
Ref!
you're missing the weapon. You're missing the weapon of all weapons. But yes, match starts off. We're starting off with the strike.
I feel like we gotta preemptively talk about this now. There is one dude in this crowd that is very, very excited because the entire fucking match he's just going, woo, woo, woo.
Bet you anything, it's that guy. Bet you anything it's that guy from the last taping that was hyping up Flair during his entire promo from off screen. Bet you anything it's that same guy.
I think he's rooting for Dusty. He just likes to go woo. Woo!
Yeah, but Austin, wrestling fans are fickle. You know, he's just here for the good vibes. All right,
yeah.
He supports.
You can hear him the entire 20-minute match.
I did not catch that, but that's
wow.
Beautiful. We start off with the strikes, and also again, like I talked about with the Minnesota Wrecking Crew match, Dusty showing that he can move well. Like he's jumping around. He's being fast, which like is always crazy to see from.
It's fun watching. It's fun watching Dusty in this match. Kind of wrestle. He kind of comes down to Ric Flair's level of technical wrestling. Like he's working the knee. He's working Flair's knee like Flair would work his knee.
That said, you can end that sentence also at it's fun to watch Dusty Rhodes, because like
that's true as well.
Like he's unparalleled in how he looks in the ring and how he moves. Like this is one of the greatest of all time. This is one of those like not overhyped in the slightest. This man just knows how to make you believe. And he's starting off striking Flair. He's in control for a lot of the early match. Ric Flair keeps bailing to the outside. And then he's able to catch Ric Flair into like wrenching his arm behind his back. And like I like this early part of the story. Like Dusty definitely is like caught Ric Flair off guard. Rick thought he had put Dusty out of commission. Now
Ric Flair has talked himself, it gaslit himself into thinking he's done it. He's got Dusty Rhodes out, down and out. It's over. And Dusty's like, nah, brother. I'm still 100% daddy.
Oh baby, we haven't even begun to put Dusty Rhodes down and out, baby. But yeah, which also does a really good job at like making Dusty feel dangerous in this match, which is really cool. Flair gets a comeback spot though, and this is like where the psychology of the match really kicks in. Is like he gets a comeback spot, and Dusty sells like crazy for him, and like not just like standard wrestling selling. I forget exactly what Flair does, but he catches Dusty in some kind of strike, and Dusty immediately sells this perfect like visceral reflexive pain. Like it feels like his injuries legit flaring up on him, which ups the stakes, and there's this great sense of danger and precariousness to this entire match. It's a slower pace, but at least to start, but like man, it builds its tension well.
This match is 20 minutes long. It's at least 5 minutes longer than any other match on the show, but they took advantage of their time.
Oh my god. Flair, for some reason, tries to suplex Dusty, and Dusty's like, no, you. I don't know why. No. Yeah, Dusty. Now, what's cool, though, is Dusty, you said he's working the knee. He's just targeting Flair's leg in general, which is more than just tactical for trying to disable the figure four, which, you know, for those who don't know, the role, you're tying up your opponent's legs with your own, but it's revenge. This is a revenge spot for Dusty too. Like it's a great, like the fact that they built this with Rick attacking Dusty's leg means that when Dusty goes to like disable the figure four, he's targeting Ric Flair's Ric Flair's injury of him as much as he is one of Ric Flair's signature moves, which is brilliant. Oh my god, fuck. Dusty heats Flair off the top rope, and
Flair does get in the figure 4, but then Dusty, he does the flip over, because you also don't know if you ain't getting a figure 4, and this is legit too. This is literally how this move works in real life if you actually get it. If you flip, it's normally done on your back, but if you flip over on the stomach, the pressure of the move is completely reversed,
which makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
And it is really cool to I really like that part of the move. It makes it one of the most effective moves in like wrestling.
It's like a high risk, high reward situation. Is that you're opening yourself up to get stuck in a submission move yourself to do it.
Which again, that precariousness, like it's all like it's fate as well. It is a strong build that like this works as well as it does with. Again, the fact that it was a leg injury for Dusty just adds so much to what this match builds on against Ric Flair, who's a very leg-based wrestler. But yeah, fucking they're going to the floor at one point.
There's two fucking ref bumps.
2 fucking ref bumps. There's a great moment where Dream goes to the top rope, which I didn't think I'd ever really see, and he just fucking, but instead of like leaping, he just kind of spills over onto Flair below.
So awesome. What happens is Ric Flair tries to counter that the same way he always gets countered going off the top rope, except it doesn't work right. And yeah, so it's like he tries to throw Dusty off, and then Dusty just kind of falls on him.
Yeah, Dusty being a big dude contributes a lot to his physicality in really great ways. He knew how to use that to his advantage, which is awesome. He's just so cool. He's fucking him. Flair at one point, this was fun, goes for the only way I could put it was a walking nothing off of the ring post. Like it looks like he's like trying to fucking walk on air off the ring post, and he just whacks him in the stomach. And then yes, the figure 4 from Flair. Dusty reverses it. Tony Schiavone says it's a gut check. Taz, Bruce Pritchard, and Al Snow show up from the future. It was crazy, but
no.
And then of course our requisite ref bumps, which comes in the form of Dusty Rhodes sitting on the ref by accident, which is a way to bump the ref. The ref recovers from this pretty quickly, so of course he gets bumped all the way to the floor.
We have to bump it again because we need time for the Horsemen to run in.
Only 3 of them though, because Tully Blanchard is not here.
Tully is still fucked up from earlier. He's not even in the building. Right, yes. I forgot that he was in Charlotte. He was in Charlotte instead of Atlanta.
Yeah.
But yeah, Arn tries to attack and Dusty pushes him away. But then Ole gets a knee in the back to Dusty and they make a run for it. But the Flair makes a cover, Dusty kicks out, and then Dusty with a small package roll up gets the 1, 2, 3, and your new NWA World Champion Dusty Rhodes.
And the building goes fucking nuclear. Like, unparalleled reaction. Like, damn, the magic of 80s wrestling crowds cannot ever be captured again. It was just a different time, brother. People went nuts for that shit. But yes, and the whole Dusty Rhodes babyface crew runs into the ring to celebrate, and then we go backstage with Tony Schiavone and Dusty Rhodes with the great line. He's talking about the American dream came back. Ric Flair thought he did it
for all the blue collar workers.
All the blue collar workers. Nobody can beat the people. Nobody can beat the world, and nobody can beat the American dream. Dusty Rhodes, like, just taking dubs from start to finish in this arc, even with starting out with a broken angle.
Yeah,
immaculate.
All right,
and then of course Bob Caudle has to ruin it by reading off a press release about thanking the fans in the most awkward way possible. Why is Tony Schiavone the only announcer with any ounce of charisma around here? God damn. Yeah. And then we close off on a recap of the night. Random ask the two and recap of the night in like alternating between replay videos and still images. 2 still images before we finish I want to point out real quick was random ass close-up of the Barbarian's face for no reason. Okay. And then freeze framing directly on Miss Atlanta Lively's face. Bro! Stop! All right. Anyway, but yes. My God.
Great moment and great show. Dusty will ruin this title reign immediately because he does a fucking Dusty finish about it. I don't think I've ever explained that term before. A Dusty finish is named as such because it was Dusty Rhodes' favorite thing to do as a booker. It's where you book the babyface to get the big win, but then you overturn that with a rules technicality. The next week on WCW, Dusty Rhodes will be stripped of the title because it will be argued that because of the Andersons' interference, the match should have ended in disqualification, and therefore Ric Flair gets the belt back.
But the ref didn't see it, so fuck off.
I agree. But that's what they do because it's a Dusty finish, baby.
I actually did not know that.
Yeah, it's Dusty's most infamous part of it's basically his lasting legacy as a booker and his biggest failing as a booker. Because as you might have guessed, when you keep teasing the fans about a big babyface payoff, and then you keep undoing the big babyface payoff, fans stop caring. Because they don't trust that you're going to actually follow through on this one.
Yes.
Dusty Rhodes needed to learn the value of "and they all lived happily ever after."
Bro, what the shit?
Yeah.
Well, that's
for this
annoying.
night, for this moment, he beat Ric Flair. He's the NWA champion.
Which incredible moment, incredible match. This is just unparalleledly good. Damn, we actually watched something good from WCW. When was the last time that happened? Fuck.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah, that brother.
Wraps up our here. It's been long in some points, but overall, very happy that we did this arc. It was.
I know. Oh my God. Starrcade was so rewarding. Like
Jim Crockett Promotions was cooking in 1985.
They really were. Crockett wins again, even if he can't fucking talk on TV to save his life. He sure knows how to book a pay-per-view, baby. Yeah, that was incredible. Just yeah.
So, what are we replacing this arc with on this storyline on this segment? Oh boy, we are going back to 1993. It's time for a new generation yet again.
Yet again.
Famously, that went well last time we could be winning.
Oh yeah, damn.
Last time
what? It wasn't no, it wasn't fucking Fake Taker the last time we did New Gen, was it?
Yeah.
No way. No way.
Yeah, it's been that long.
That was years ago. We haven't touched New Gen since?
Yeah, I don't like to touch New Gen.
No. Okay, technically we have the videos. The videos were New Gen.
Videos extended into New Gen. It was kind of both. It was kind of Golden Age and New Gen.
Sure.
We got to watch a video of Paul Bear's favorite matches from last week.
My favorite match. I don't have recency bias. Oh.
Jeff Jarrett versus 1, 2, 3 Kid was a banger.
Jesus Christ. All right. Oh God. Okay. New Gen strapping in. What are we doing?
It's time for we did SummerSlam 94. Let's roll it back to SummerSlam 93 because it's time. All aboard. Hulk Hogan is gone. Hulk Hogan is going back to try to do movies and will fail. It's time to get all aboard the Lex Express.
Oh no.
Lex, we are building to Lex Luger versus Yokozuna at SummerSlam 1993.
Versus Hoops. Oh no! Oh no!
That's WWF champion Yokozuna to you, sir.
Oh no! Ah!
No, this is bad. I've watched this before because I've watched all of 1993 WWF.
Why? Are you a masochist? Do you hate yourself?
When I was
Actually,
younger,
don't
I
answer
thought
that.
I thought it'd be neat to start Raw from the beginning, and I did make it.
Oh, hey, this! I
remember.
I remember this now. Austin's famously good idea of trying to watch every Raw ever, and yeah, say what year did you make it to?
I made it through 93. I got to the end of 93. And that's it.
And you said, "Oh, brother, this guy stinks."
But yeah. As for our next episode, though, it's Lucha Underground yet again, so that's a positive.
Thank
Mil
God.
Muertes is fucking dead, and King Cuerno has his corpse. That's concerning.
Yes, although Katrina has disappeared, so more shenanigans to come, I am sure.
Yeah, but we got to get out of here. So, David, hit the plugs.
Yes, sir. Dear friends, thank you all so much for joining us on yet another episode of the Noobs and Knockouts podcast. We are so delighted to have you here, returning listeners, viewers, what have you. Thank you all so much for once again welcoming us back into your eardrums, your eyeballs, whatever it is used to consume our content. We're just so happy you're here. We hope you, keep coming back and continuing to hang with us, all that good stuff. Thanks. We love you. New people, hey, how's it going? Welcome to the show. We here at the Noobs and Knockouts podcast like to think we are friendly to both noobs and knockouts alike. So whether you're brand new to the wild, wacky world of wrestling or you're a veteran of all the weird bullshit, we're just so happy that you're here. We hope you had a great time. We hope things felt accessible to you and fun to you. And we hope you want to keep coming back and joining us. I'm going to make sure you know all the ways to do so. First and foremost, of course, is our YouTube. You can find us on YouTube, hit subscribe, ring that bell, make sure it turns a nice little solid color so you get notifications every single time we drop a brand new episode. Check out all of our playlists. Austin is kind enough to organize all of the storylines that we follow into their own separate playlists so you can follow something all the way down without having to skip around a whole lot. It's great. ARC Supercuts are coming to our channel at some point soon too, so that's exciting. Ooh, be on the lookout for that. It's the video version. You can see our beautiful, lovely faces. Give us a sweet, sweet engagement in the forms of likes and comments. Helps us out a lot in the algorithm, and you like us, don't you? So, just press a little button or, it's, it helps. However, if you're a fan of the audio-only experience, we have you covered there. You can find the Noobs and Knockouts podcast on pretty much any of the places you would find any podcast. So if you're currently not listening to us on your preferred platform, why? But also, maybe you found us on YouTube, but you want to take us over, whatever. Either way, you can find us on Spotify Music, Apple Podcasts, etc., etc., etc. Our RSS feed casts its net far and wide. Anywhere you listen to a fucking podcast, you can find Noobs and Knockouts. So if you're not already listening to us where you want to be listening to us, well, you can fix that. I encourage you, please do. And give us all that sweet, sweet engagement on there. Download our episodes so you can listen to us offline. The ratings and reviews on those podcast platforms help us out tremendously. Help get the word out. Help tell people that, hey, maybe these guys are pretty cool and more people should be listening to them. Just saying. And all that good stuff helps us out a lot. So if you could spare a moment to leave us some of that sweet, sweet engagement, or if you just want to listen to us, either way means a lot, helps our metrics, etc., etc. And we hope you guys have a good time with it. Of course, if you want to find us outside of this little void that we find ourselves in week after week, you can do so all over the interwebs. Of course, first and foremost, in terms of social media, is our Twitter. We are at Noobs and Knox Pod on Twitter. That's at Noobs, the letter N, Knox Pod on Twitter. Come check us out there. We do the whole Twitter thing, whether it be memeing it up or engaging in mind-numbing IWC discourse, etc., etc. We put up a post every single time we drop a brand new episode, so you guys always know what the hell is going on. Highlight of our Twitter is, of course, weekly wrestling live tweeting. I'm on a bit of a hiatus for the next few weeks. That's usually my bag. I'm currently in a show. When we return, it'll be Wednesday nights at 8 p.m. Eastern for AEW Dynamite, tweeting and memeing and all that good stuff. And sometimes when I have the chance, AEW Rampage at 10 p.m. Eastern on Friday nights, and Saturday nights at 8 p.m. Eastern on at 8 p.m. Eastern on Saturday nights. I already said that. I'm going so fast, my brain's not keeping up. Both of those shows are on TNT, and AEW Dynamite's on TBS. So watch along with us, talk along with us, see if we're tweeting out, and just come hang out with us, have a good time. On top of all of that, Austin, being the knockout that he is, likes to follow all of the major wrestling promotions and tell you guys all about them, what's going on in them. For all you noobs especially, it's a great time for you to see, a sampler platter of maybe some of the stuff you can watch and check out and see what you enjoy about the wrestling world and what your preferred company may be. And sometimes he'll even watch and tweet about those pay-per-views. That's how we justify putting in our Twitter section here. Yada yada. My friend, what is on the docket coming up?
Look, I feel like we don't have time today.
We don't. All Out's coming. This episode's going to be out after All Out, but I'm going to be at All Out Live, baby. Bryan Danielson. Let me run down. Let me run down this card real quick because it's fucking insane. Everything about it's not even done yet, but of Will Ospreay versus Pac for the International Championship. We have Hangman versus Swerve 4 in a steel cage. We have Mercedes versus Hikaru Shida for the TBS Championship. We have MJF versus Daniel Garcia, and what's sure to be a great match for grabs in general. We have Willow Nightingale versus Chris Statlander in a Chicago street fight. And in the main event, we have Bryan Danielson versus tax-paying Jerry Perry for the AEW World Championship. Holy shit!
You can fuck yourself. You can do
Bash of Berlin just happened. Whatever.
Yeah, I haven't seen it. That happened during football yesterday. I didn't see shit.
My brother called me. He's like, "Yeah, it's all right, I guess."
Have you seen Maki Ito live though? I want to know if I still got that on.
No, and I'm missing her because she's gonna be in Detroit, but I'm doing my fucking show while she's there. So you still have that on me, you son of a bitch, you.
All right, that makes it a little easier to swallow the all thing. All Out. Sorry, got the wrong way. All right.
Anyway,
next time we will have more to say about what's going on in wrestling. But David,
thank you
now.
Thank you for your service. All right, so all good stuff over on the Twitter. If you like listening to us on the show, you'll like the live tweeting. The voices carry over. We're having a good time. Bada bing, bada boom. All right. Of course, if you want to get in more direct and long-form contact with us, you can do that at our email address, noobsandknockoutspod@gmail.com. That's noobs, the word and this time, knockoutspod@gmail.com. Come hang out with us. We do the whole email thing there, say hi to us, tell us what you think about the show, request things you want to see us cover on the show, tell us our hot takes are based and or cringe, whatever. We hope we just love people talking to us, saying hi. Come say hi. We would love to say hi back. noobsandknockoutspod@gmail.com. Of course, finally, if you want to more directly support the show, you can do that on our Patreon, Noobs and Knockouts Podcast on Patreon. The link for that is in our Twitter. $1 a month gets you early access to episodes and a shout out at the end of each episode. Our free tier gets you just a shout out at the end of each episode. Shout out to free tier friend Gabe Chavez, and shout out to friends of the show at $1 a month. Sugar Daddy, El Lucha Dead Money, and I'm just a branch on the Learning Tree TM. Thank you, all of you guys, for support. You are the best. We love you. It means a lot to us. Even on our free tier, just knowing we have that groundswell support is tremendous. Feels good. And hey, if you want to contribute monetarily, helps us do more with the show, helps us afford to do more with the Patreon and do more shit that can then trickle back to you guys as more perks. Like, this is good shit. Support us, we support you, everybody's happy. So of course, if you want to more directly support the show like that, the Noobs and Knockouts podcast on Patreon, the link for that is in our Twitter.
See y'all next time.
Hasta luego.